Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Bill.
And David.
Yeah, we don't have Jason here today, unfortunately, because what I was telling you, Warforged is in Kansas, I believe. They were doing a festival down there. I need to hound Jason about it because Atme was playing there because it's like their hometown. And I saw like a post that they dropped off for some weird reason.
Really?
Kind of last minute, too. So I hope everything's all right. But
Maybe a tornado. Took him to,
well, no, Atme was the only one that didn't play. Everybody else did.
Took him to the Wizard of Oz.
They're not in Kansas anymore. Speaking of Warforged, did you hear Danny, our singer from Roman Ring, is going to be going on tour with them?
Yeah, I heard at your party.
It's terrifying for them.
It's terrifying for
anybody that
doesn't drink in that band.
Well, I feel for. I'm curious to see how this is fun. So this episode is going to be the last one that airs as far as like the automated ones are gone because I'm going to be gone. I literally leave. So today is September 22nd. It's my birthday. I leave tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
afternoon.
happy birthday!
Thank you.
I forgot.
I leave tomorrow afternoon for Europe for 3 weeks, and so we've done, I think, 2 episodes so far that I've already uploaded. I've already scheduled to drop like the respective times that we always do, like Monday mornings and stuff. And this should be the last one, so that when I get back, we get back into the swing of things, and hopefully didn't miss a beat. I could be wrong. I probably calculated wrong, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. But yeah, no, I like this will be fun. So I'm making predictions as to what's gonna happen on that Warforged tour with Danny along board with them. I really feel for Adrian.
There's gonna be some good stories.
I feel like Adrian's gonna have a hard time with that one.
Adrian doesn't drink, right?
I think he does, but just not like heavily, you know.
Jason drinks. Alex drinks.
Jason will drink every once in a while. Jace drinks, yeah. Max,
Jace drinks.
Yeah.
The most.
Jace is probably the next best thing to Danny.
He's the only one that would keep up.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, Max Danny's on another
he's a seasoned
he's in a
pro
different league, yeah.
At drinking, that's for sure.
Like I could hang with him, but
yeah, fuck that.
I'm a piece of shit.
I feel like you're more responsible than him, though. Not that he's that bad. He's gotten better now that he's older.
Yeah.
And has more responsibilities, given the job that he does.
Yeah, I would hope. He's responsible. He has a family to take care of. Julio.
Yeah, right. I wonder who's going to take care of Julio while he's gone. But yeah, I remember we were at practice for Roman Ring, and Jason told me, and Danny wasn't in the room yet, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "You're bringing Daniel?" He was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "It'll be a blast." I was like, "It's gonna be something, that's for sure."
Isn't Danny on tour right now, or does he leave tomorrow?
I think he leaves tomorrow, right?
For Through the Eyes of the Dead.
Yeah, or it might be like maybe the middle of this week or something, because they're kind of like us. They just do stuff on the weekend now, just because they're all so busy.
I feel bad for his liver.
I mean, he only does it every once in a while, right? It's not like he used to, like every day. But I remember, we were talking about it. I was like, well, what the fuck is he going to do on the road for you guys? He was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, I was thinking maybe he could do merch or something. And I was like, oh, all right. And so then Danny walks in. I was like, you're going on tour with him? I was like, what are you going to be doing? He goes, well, not too much, because it is like a vacation for me. He's like, and Jason's like, well, you can do merch. And he's like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, if you need me to, if you need me to, but I'm gonna be entertainment. I was like, you're fucked. Famous last words right there. He's gonna be entertainment for them.
Yeah, he told me he said that he told the band that he's like, I'm not gonna be that guy.
Which guy?
Like the guy.
The irresponsible.
No, he's like, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to do merch and be like, where you're going to put responsibility. Which, I mean, I don't blame him because it is his vacation. I'd be like, yeah, I'm just basically vacationing with you.
Right. I mean, to some degree, I mean, Danny's not a total piece of shit, so I'm sure he will help
he's
out
gonna do it
accordingly. Hopefully he's not so hungover the next morning he can't move gear.
Well, eventually at some of these shows, it's like, what else are you gonna do? You get there, load in,
wait,
just drink. I mean, I don't know what else he plans on doing.
I don't know, hanging out with Macabre.
I mean, you might as well just do merch table, right?
I guess I was told that Max really likes doing merch for them.
He does?
Yeah, which is good. Like, I wish all band members had people like that. Even I'm bad with that stuff. Like,
I don't mind doing merch. It's just that we always forget.
Yeah, I'm always the one loading up the van. I'm sure you are too, right? Like,
well, we're all pretty good at it. We'll take turns. Like one person goes merch.
Yeah, dude. I always end up like in the van, and then by the time I'm done, I'm like exhausted. Don't want to go back in the venue right away. I kind of just want to like decompress a little, and then by then, like it's too late. Like anybody was gonna buy merch, but I already bought it or waited long enough that they gave up. But yeah. I'm unfortunate with something that's waiting. That Gobo is like on it when it comes to merch. Like that's his world, so he's very good about like going right to the table. He's also good about moving gear, so I can't totally hate the guy. Like most vocalists,
he's a veteran,
doing it for a long time. That's for sure. So what's new? What's going on with you? How was your Friday night at the birthday?
Good.
Have a good time.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. I
had a good time.
I had to work the next morning. That was rough.
Oof.
That was a real rough day.
We gave you a lot of shots of Jaeger.
Yeah, there was a lot. It was good. I liked it. I don't believe I blacked out in any way, shape, or form. I think I remember most of everything. There's a couple little gray spots here and there, but all in all, it was good. It was a very. I'm getting older. I'm 35, so the birthday gets a little more responsible as I get older, I guess. Not like previous years where it was like it used to be like. Right around midnight is where my mind would just check out. I'm like, all right, we're on autopilot. Hopefully I make it home and nobody kills me. And
what time did you leave that night? I think I left
closed
at 2.
out the bar. Yeah. So last call's 3:00. There, 2:45 or whatever. I do remember that. I remember we closed out the bar.
Who else was still there?
So it got
Danny
down
and
to
Chuck and...
no, Danny left. I forgot when. It was down to Chuck, Nate, Megan, and me. That was it. Then there were 4. And that was fun. And then went home, went to bed, and then got up very fucking early to go move furniture with a violent hangover. It was so much a hangover, but like I just felt like shit.
Yeah.
You know? And moved some furniture, got that over with, then had to go back to the shop to drop off more furniture and then go pick up more to drop off again. Oh. And at that point, it turned into a headache. Yeah. I was like, I am so miserable. And it was a lot of driving. It was driving into the city and then driving up to Wilmette.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I was, that's how brutal. We do it. That's the great follow-up to a good birthday night.
Yeah, I woke up at like 10 and felt like shit. Went and got my car because I left it by Healy's.
Oh, really?
I didn't get a ticket. No, I did. I tried calling it in, but the time cut off was 2 a.m. I was like 10 minutes late.
And
I tried calling it. I tried even putting it on their website.
Oh, really? And that's
if I got a ticket, I was gonna go there and show them my call log and show them that I tried to log into your website and be like, motherfucker, like what the fuck do you want me to do? Right. Drive my car wasted? I mean, what's the other option here?
Be very irresponsible.
What's the other option here? Forest Park. Yeah, right next to that coffee shop.
You get a fucking ticket?
Oh, I was surprised.
Crazy.
I wouldn't have paid it anyways. I would have told them to go fuck themselves.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised by it. Usually they're on point with those fucking tickets, man. Like the parking tickets.
Unless it like blew off. I was pretty surprised I didn't get one either.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did blow off.
I mean, I did call in like fucking 5 times.
And it was busy or like.
Yeah, it just kept ringing, and then I went to their website. Whatever.
It's not like a holiday, right? Like a holiday weekend. Was it?
It says on their website it cuts off at 2 a.m. But
right, yeah.
What do you do when you get like, say you're like wasted at the bars at 3?
I guess you just get the ticket.
God,
it's like a $50 ticket, man.
Yeah.
It's like
don't they reckon enough money in that town through all those bars, taxes?
You would think, like we had a big complaint because the whole video gambling thing. They voted in our town to get rid of it.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of weird, just because it's like.
Yeah, where do they draw the line on? Were they highbrow now?
Yeah, like
it's like what?
It was really like a small town politics thing. It was really all about saying like "fuck you" to our mayor at the time and like all his buddies who were all tied together with the video gambling stuff and the bars as well. And so, like you said, there's a lot of good money to be made. Not so much for the town, but for those guys. And after all these years, people have just been so over them, like they hate them. So then this was like their chance to like get back at them. So through like all these terrible like tricks and stuff that they did, all these for politics' sake and stuff like that to get gambling, not get gambling, get gambling, not get gambling. It came down finally. They were able to essentially it's banned for like life from the town, and in order to like change it, they have to go through some of the craziest like loopholes ever. And as a result of them losing this vote for video gambling, all those dudes left.
Really?
So they ultimately, these people that hated them won. I'm one of them. I don't like a lot of those guys. I think they suck. I think they're all assholes and they're just draining the fucking town. And I totally agree with that. But I think we kind of shot ourselves in the foot by taking out the video gambling, because they were like, the one lady I know really well that like really was like against it, who hated the mayor and everybody. She was like, well, you know, we don't make that much money from it. And I was like, well, what do we make? And she threw out some number, which to be honest, I was like, that's bullshit. There's no way we're not making so little. Like, I get, you know, obviously the state takes some of it. The town will take a little bit and whatever, and taxes and all that. But at the end of the day, I doubt our takeaway was so low. Like, the way she described it.
Well, you should have on.
Is he in the video?
That's what he does.
Oh, no shit. I have, my family does it. I got my cousin and uncle do it. Or actually, my cousin just does it now.
He works for one of the big ones.
I wonder if it's
But he knows like all the fucking money of it. And shit, dude.
It's crazy. So
like, there's some bars that he'll like tell us about, and they'll tell us how much they make.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
Actually, can we edit this out?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's supposed to be doing that.
I'm sure you could talk about it. He didn't drop anything specific.
No, but I don't know if he's allowed to say stuff to people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That
maybe edit that.
Telling numbers out. Yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, I it's insane.
Oh, I know. And like, I remember like kind of talking to her about it, where I was like, well, isn't that like that? Let's say the number is 10,000. All right. It's like, well, isn't that $10,000 we didn't have this year or this month or whatever for the town? Like, really? Yeah, you're gonna take the moral high ground on this one, but come on, and she would never admit like it's all about saying fuck you to Calderon. I was like, oh, okay, sure, whatever you have to say.
It's like that town's filled with bars.
Yeah, does it get any more? I mean, like debauched than that, like, other than selling drugs, like
those same people that are drinking, it's not gonna bring in any like riffraff. The same people that are already wasted are gonna be gambling.
I hated that argument of, oh, the riffraff is coming, and I told that lady, I was like, because so we had it for a while. We had it when it passed. We had it for like a year or two, I think. And she asked me, she's like, well, do you notice anything different on Madison Street now with the video gambling? I was like, nope, not at all. Hasn't changed a bit. It's like, really? I was like, yeah. She goes, well, there's always like cop cars outside Doc Ryan's. I was like, that's been like that since I was 21. Yeah. That's the last over 10 years I've seen cop cars outside. If Doc anything,
Ryan's. I feel like Madison is dead compared to what it was 10, 15 years ago. When I
was growing up, yeah, it feels
it used to be like so packed.
I think it's lost a lot of its luster. Like, people are just over it, you know. And a lot of those bars, they don't really cater to people that are into the bar scene now, where it's really about like high end beers and all that. Yeah. None of them really do that. They'll throw you a couple in their menu, but it's not like they try to do that. It's a very old man setting.
Yeah.
But it does well like in the summer when college is back and like are out and everybody's back home and stuff like that. And you know, there's certain holidays that it does well. But yeah, I remember being 21 and like every weekend it was packed.
Yeah, every place.
Every place. Yep. Yeah, people were like out the door, like packed. It was crazy. And not with the exception of Healy's, my favorite bar on Madison Street. That place is like never packed unless it's a holiday, or it's like somebody's like.
It's because everyone just goes to the city now.
Yeah, I mean, we're so close. Like, it's not that hard to get there, you know.
Everyone that lives in the city is moving out, and everyone that's
living in the
suburbs goes there.
It's usually how it goes. I think people just get sick of being in those, because like
get sick of paying. I mean, who the fuck wants to pay that much? Every house better come with a chick that blows you every minute for that fucking price.
You just have to hit a bell, and it's like,
I mean, what, you know, honestly, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's Illinois too in general.
Like, what are you doing?
Prices are getting crazy.
Why do you charge so? I mean, that's nuts. People are leaving, flocking to other states.
Yeah, they're getting the fuck out.
If you move to Indiana,
you can live like a king in Indiana if you live
as
here.
Illinois. Like, that's saying something.
I know. I refuse to go to Indiana.
That's like you're like Brad Pitt and your girlfriend leaves you for fucking, you know,
Just some
fucking
homeless dude.
Chris Farley.
Some crystal meth Chris Farley, like downtrodden, like
what the fuck
wearing
are you
duct tape
doing?
for shoes.
Something's bad.
But
even in Cook County, we're here.
Cook County's
It's
brutal.
terrible.
Yeah, our taxes are insane.
The taxes for this house, I think, are like close to $6,000.
That's insane. That's so crazy.
My grandma
man.
has like $1 million house in Scottsdale, which is like
And what are her taxes?
one of the
like?
richest Western cities. Like,
Oh, yeah.
one of the richest parts of the country, period. And their taxes for that house are like $4,000. And she's on a lake.
Jesus. And what, like probably like 3 times the square footage of your place?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger, and it's a super like high end, nice area and nice house.
That's crazy.
It's like I have a Dollar General going up a block away.
You excited for that, man?
Yeah.
You gonna miss the family video?
What a fucking strip mall over there. JD's and fucking Dollar General.
What else is over there? Is there a laundromat or something? Or
Yeah,
no?
there's a laundromat,
There's
and
trying to think. I drive past it all the time, but
There's
I don't
a-
really pay attention.
the JD's is like something else. It's like the holy grail for scratch offs and lottery tickets.
Has that always been there?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
That's funny. Is that where you guys usually go to get your beer?
Yeah.
I mean, it's convenient. It's right there.
It is. It's convenient.
What's their selection like?
When you have to, when there's not a line out the door to get a fucking lottery ticket, it's
Is it really that
convenient.
brutal?
Oh my god! Some days it's bad.
Jesus.
It's like the place to go for lottery tickets.
Are they notorious for having lots of winners?
I don't know, but Mike just went there the other day. Came over. He went there to get beer,
Uh-huh.
and he came back in and he said one guy was like at the counter like screaming like debit or credit. And the cashier's like, I don't know. That's your choice.
He was yelling at the cashier about
debit
it.
or credit. It's like, bro,
I like that. Turn the tables on him.
Like, did you just get a bank account? Do you know how this works?
Is this your first time using your card?
He's like the cashier was like, I don't know. I mean, whatever you want to do, man.
Whatever speaks to you.
Debit or credit? Debit or credit?
You're just reading the prompts.
I think one time it was either Eddie or Mike. We're at the Shell across the street where they also get a lot of lottery tickets.
I do frequent that Shell now.
And I think it was either Eddie or Mike, but they said, 20 on pump 12 or 20 on pump 8, whatever.
Mhm.
And the guy behind him's like, give me another lottery ticket, 28. And
like
he
whatever the
thought
pump
that was like a
number,
sign.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude,
man.
they come
People
in
are
there.
so
The people
weird
that are
about
into that
shit.
come in there with like stacks of like little lotto tickets, like
Oh.
fucking stacks.
Like the
And they-
scratch off kinds?
No, like
Stacks
this is a
or
regular-
the big number or whatever. I don't know. I've never played
Not the
lottery.
scratch off, like this the regular lotto. You get like tickets
Yeah,
with your
like the-
numbers.
Where it's got the billboards.
Yeah.
The fuck that thing.
So they play that,
Jesus,
but they
a
buy
stack of them?
stacks, and they have so many they can't even look through them all. So they bring them in there for them to
Scan it. Yeah.
And they're the fucking guys sitting there going
Oh,
through their
yeah, I've
100
seen that
fucking
before.
tickets. I'm like, dude, I just want to fucking knock these people out. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Just trying to make money.
If you're that into it, go
as
home and
possible.
research the fucking numbers yourself. Stop wasting my goddamn time
I
because you
mean,
bought 500 lottery tickets.
I don't trust. I mean, the lotto maybe back in the day probably a little more, in your favor. But nowadays everything's digital. Like I don't trust it. I don't trust
Yeah.
it at all. It makes no sense.
They couldn't even pay one of those out recently.
I thought there
Some
was a
guy
couple
won
of them
and they couldn't pay it out. They were like, yeah, we don't
sorry,
have the
state's
money.
broke. We already gave the money
Yeah.
away to all this other shit. And it's like, oh, great.
Yeah. We gave the money to all these pensions we promised people.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty much what it was.
They were
originally
paying
supposed
people to
for
be
schools.
retired $100,000 a year. It's like, get the
Right.
fuck out of here.
And
How do you
that-
make more money retired when you're fucking when you work?
than when you're
Get
actually
the
working?
fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
must be
What
nice.
what a leech. What a leech system.
Well, see,
My
what's
uncle
funny,
made
like,
200 grand a year retired. He had 3 pensions.
Holy shit!
He worked 25 years at like the city, 25 years like somewhere else in the city, and 25 years at like
and
a
he was
public
able
school.
to have a pension from all 3.
All 3. He was even in the newspaper. He's dead now, but he was in the newspaper for how much he was making retired.
That is like so absurd. Like,
it's ridiculous.
The
you
idea
be allowed
of,
to have that much shit.
not that much.
And you're fucking your whole state over. You're fucking all of us. These are the reason why these people are leaving the state.
Well, that's why we're broke, is they're trying to cover all those pensions, like the big the pop tax that we had, and you know how it like came and went right away. Well, the only reason why it came and went so fast was they made just enough money to cover some pensions that were going out like that year.
Yeah,
and that's why they did it. It was just to cover these pensions. And it wasn't like they knew that they weren't going to do this long term because everybody bitched. People fucking started driving out of state to get like pop and stuff, or at least out of the county. It was like Cook County or whatever.
Didn't New York try that shit too? The pop tax?
I'm sure. It's funny because like all you have to do is do that for like, they only did it for a month or two, or maybe maybe a little bit longer, but it was enough that they got a good chunk of money to pay for these pensions. But
the amount of pensions I forgot the number I was reading. It was like insane.
It's something insane. Yeah.
Well, you can't promise that after only 25 years of working either. I'm sorry to all the cops and firefighters and people that
I think there should
you work. That's a hard job and all, but you need to work longer. This is that's simple fact.
Or
that's total bullshit. You have to work 25. You should work till you're fucking 65.
Right. Like everybody.
Otherwise, no one's gonna have a job because you're just gonna destroy this whole city and just ruin it for
that's
like
what's happening now.
You gotta, you know,
we're trying to cover that, and it's just like ugh, and they just hit us with it, like all the taxes and whatnot. It goes to us, and it's like, well, what the fuck? I don't get that.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Pension, you know? Like I don't have a pension.
We'll get a social security check for like $700 a month
if we're lucky.
Enough to fucking buy toilet
if they have
paper.
the money for it.
Get the fuck out of here.
By the time we retire, they're like, sorry, it's social security's empty. Good luck.
You're fucked.
Oh, cool. But meanwhile, some dude's like moronic, like half cousin worked a desk job for the city for 10 months.
Yeah.
And gets a full on pension
it's insane.
Pays more than I've ever made.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing about Chicago is the nepotism that goes into like the politics, if you will. But there's so many weird jobs. Like I remember, so like somebody, like I heard a number where it was like in Chicago, as far as like political jobs or city jobs that involve pensions or whatnot, it's like 6-1 in any other major city.
Yeah.
That's how many people are like working, you know, for pensions. Like, because they're just like, fuck it, you're going to get one, you're going to get one. And then they make up all these weird fucking titles and whatnot. And just like,
it's
just hide in the corner. Don't say a fucking thing. Just hang out for a couple months or years or whatever. You don't have to do anything. And then you got a pension. You're good to go.
When my grandpa was younger, they still had the ghost payroll. You were still my grandpa was making money through the union, and he never showed up.
What?
His friend was. It's just like on The Sopranos. His friend was like the head contractor of a job, and he wrote his name in the books. He never was even there. He was receiving checks.
No shit.
That shit used to happen like all the time.
Good old days. It's a lot harder to do now. It's
you can't do
digital world. Yeah.
But pensions with companies are one thing. Is you're taking the money out of the company. And the people,
that's different. But
when you're doing it with the state, we're all paying for it.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, like, it's with the private sector, it's like they're smart about it. They're investing.
And we're paying in it. We're not even in the fucking city.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Well, there is a group of people trying to get Chicago out of Cook County or Cook County out of Chicago, which I can see that. Like, I understand why people are so upset, you know?
Yeah, it's total bullshit. I don't reap the benefits of that.
I'm not getting anything from it.
It's like, what the fuck?
But I think
look at Maywood, dude. When I drove through there the other day, that place is like...
There's a shit heap of a town.
A shithole, but the fucking goddamn police station looked like brand new. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Well, it's interesting because like your company did work with that town and ended up getting burned by them. Which
they didn't even pay for a Christmas lights
because they don't have money. That town is like
that's what they said. They said we're broke.
Yeah,
and like why'd you call me?
Yet they had that festival going on that weekend when you guys were over. I've seen fireworks going off every once in a while.
I drove by there. I was like, absurd. I came home. I told Maggie, I'm like, how does Westchester not have a fest, but Maywood does? How the fuck is that right?
And your town's probably like, yeah, we can't afford it, so we're not doing it. And it's like, yep, that's what happened to my town. Like they were like, yeah, this year we just can't afford it. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Meanwhile, Maywood is like doing all this shit, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing over there?"
All their city shit there looks like it's brand new. That's obvious. They're sucking the money and keeping it.
Absolutely. And what sucks about that town is like they do the same thing every town really does, where it's like they hit the businesses the hardest and first before they start hitting citizens. And it fucking sucks for people like us in the business. Like, I was telling you that building we're in, it's a decent building. It's getting a little run down these years just because the owner doesn't give a shit. But somebody, in the Maywood group or whatever, fucking came by one year, assessed the building for $1.4 million, and then slapped the taxes on that building when they first moved in were like $40,000, which is pretty reasonable for a building that size.
Yeah,
if you fill it out, you can easily make that money and still, live comfortably. Somebody assessed it for over $1 million, and the next year it was like $250,000 in taxes. And the owner was like, "Nope, you're not getting that from me." He's like, "There's no way I can afford. Even if I filled this building with people on the fucking roof, I'm still not gonna make that money." He's like, "That's absurd." He's like, "Why would you ever expect somebody to pay something like that?" And so it became like a whole thing. And there's also another guy in Maywood Glass, like not too far from my shop. Same thing. They hit him with this insane tax on his property. And he was just like, "Yep." He's like, "I'm not paying that," and has not paid property taxes on his building in over a decade. And yet they've never kicked him out. Like,
wow.
He's still there as far as I know. And like every once in a while I pop in, get some glass from him, and he's just like, "Yep, still here." I'm like, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't know." He's like, "I just tell them to fuck off. Like, they're not getting their money." He's like, "Until they do," he's like, "if they want to take the building," he goes, "Go right ahead." He goes, "I'll retire at that point." He's like, "But for now," he's like, "I'm just going to keep running this business until you either stop me or he never, he dies." So good for that guy. Because that's the other thing, man. They just don't give a shit over there. I mean, I deal with those, like, code enforcement and fire and all that. And they're like, I mean, they're as nice as can be, but they just don't run shit.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know anything. It's really absurd.
I don't know. They still owe us money.
Yeah, good luck.
The guy that gave me the job is gonna, I guess, send him to collections, the town.
I'm sure
he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna send him to collections. And this guy was from like out of state. I told you this.
Oh, that's right. So he didn't quite know the history of that town.
Yeah, me personally, I didn't contract Maywood out to do their Christmas lights, but this guy
knew better.
This guy was gonna sell me his business. That's what happened. So this guy has like the same business as me. He fell off a ladder and fucked his wife told him he has to stop doing it. So he's like, "Do you want my business?" He found my company and asked if I wanted to buy it. And I was like, "I don't know." Like, we went through all this shit, but either way, I helped him take down lights because he fell before he could take them down. So I took all the shit down for him. And then he was telling me, "Oh, you got to go to Maywood." I'm like, "For a house?" He's like, "No, like the town. Like, we decorated the town." And he's like, we went there. Half the lights were stolen off the trees.
Jesus.
It was just a mess.
Just a fucking, yeah.
I took this. He's like, "Well, I'm going to charge the town for the stolen lights." I'm like, "Okay, good luck, buddy."
Have fun with that.
This guy's from Missouri. He comes up here to do work. He's like, "Yeah, I'm at the town now." He's sending me pictures while he's at Village Hall. And he's like showing me pictures of like the shelf, like with books on it by like the waiting area. And there's just like a cake of dust over everything. It just like looks like shit.
Right.
And then he leaves and calls me. He's like, "Yeah, they said they don't have any money to pay me. So I'm going to send him to collections." I'm like, "Why?"
At least get, like, a deposit
I'm like,
from
you really don't know this area. Like, I'll tell you right now, you should not have even answered that phone call to begin with.
Make them pay up front. That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
We know people that are like that, or like they either don't have money or they fuck you around with getting money. You pay up front, That's also why we always ask for a deposit too. So at least if we don't know the person and we end up getting burned, it's not so bad. Like, I know we do a lot of work with construction companies, and some of those dudes are pretty bad about paying. They move so, you probably dealt with it. They move so fucking slow about it. And it's the same thing every time. "Oh, we sent it to payroll. It's in the works."
The problem with construction is like usually no one gets paid until the person above you gets the check.
Right.
So it's always, you're always waiting.
Oh yeah. There's a couple construction companies that we have a good rapport with that we never have to worry about it. They know us, they like us, so they pay us. But I remember, I forgot which, it was in one of the bigger outfits that we did work for so we do the job, got a deposit, never got the balance. And my dad would call in every once in a while, "Hey, just so you know, you have an outstanding balance of whatever." "Oh yeah, payroll's got it. the check's in the mail. I'm like, okay. Check never comes. And he just kind of gives up calling. He's like, whatever. You know, it is what it is. So years later, like 8 years later, they call again looking for work, or we're having us work on something. And my dad was like, he's like, the name, my dad's not the quickest of people, but he was like, the name sounds familiar. He's like, I think they owe us money. So my mom being our secretary, he's like, look up the name, find out if they have a balance due. And sure enough, they did. So he calls him back and he's like, yeah, we could do the job for sure. He went out, did an estimate, and then they're like, cool. They're like, what do we need to, get you started? He goes, well, he's like, I'm going to need the last balance. And he's like, and the total balance of this job before I even get started. And they were in a crunch. They needed it, like emergency, fix that they needed. So they're like, all right, fine, you get it. So I'm going to get paid 8 years later. But yeah, that's the kind of shit you have to do with like people like that sometimes, which is unfortunate, but you get.
It's part of the business, yeah.
Yeah, it's a game.
It is.
and you learn, yeah.
It's a fucking racket.
Another good moment I remember, and like it's been a while since we've had this, but a lot of our customers are pretty old. We deal with antiques, and a lot of them are old, and they've held on for years, and they just got what they want to get them restored. And we had a running gag for a while where like sometimes customers sold that were like, we need to get this done quick because they might pass away before we even get it to them. And we need to get paid. So let's get it done quick. But there was one time we had some furniture. I think it was a couch and a few other things or something. We get it done, like usually 2-3 weeks, we get it done. My dad's calling. They're not picking up. I'm like, fuck. They're probably like, whatever, like I'll get to it when I get to it. And then eventually he calls. Somebody picks up and they're like, yeah, this is the daughter of so-and-so. She passed away like 2 days ago. We're like, oh shit! Like, we're so sorry. It's just we have their furniture, and she was like, oh, that'd be please bring it by. Like, it's like one last memory of her, and like, yeah, that was pretty funny. I was like, oh shit! Like, so that does happen too.
I never had that happen yet. That would suck. Imagine doing a bunch of work for somebody and then they died without getting paid.
Get paid. That'd be brutal. Yeah, they paid us, which is nice. Like.
I'd fucking go to the funeral and put an invoice in their casket.
Who do I have to give this to?
Yeah, somebody which one of you motherfuckers?
She owes me money. Who's next in line to pay me?
God. Yeah.
Joys of running a business, huh?
Yeah. That's fun stuff.
It is and it isn't,
It does. I mean, it gets worse when you have a lot of employees. That's the headache.
I can imagine. We've never been big enough to have a ton of employees. We've had people, work for us in the past and stuff like that, and it's
getting the insurance right and all that shit. It's just just dealing with any employees.
Right? Yeah.
They're the worst. I'm sure I was the worst too when I was an employee.
Out,
dude, it always sucks.
It's
like you feel like you're a psychiatrist and a fucking boss. It's
right.
like, dude, I don't need to hear your fucking problems.
I don't need to hear these things.
I pay you money to do this job. Right. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't care that your hands hurt because you have arthritis. That's not my problem.
Not your issue, man.
You should get a new job then. Don't say you could do this.
I got bad knees. I got a bad back. Can't do it. No, why the fuck are you doing this?
Like, fuck, I'm going to start charging you for emotional support.
We've always had, like, now that I'm getting older, most of the employees that we've had over the years are, like, friends of mine and stuff like that, which that's pretty fun, like, but it's also weird because, like, technically I'm their boss, and me and my dad cannot be any more different when it comes to handling employees. I'm obviously, me, I'm pretty patient with most people, and takes a lot for me to ever get mad. My dad, on the other hand, flips it real quick.
Yeah.
And over the years, I tried to explain to him, like, you have to remember, you've been doing this job for like close to 40 years, and I'm right there behind you. So obviously, some things are just intuitive for us to know how to do it. And we've just been doing it for so long that we're on autopilot, I was like, but you can't expect somebody that's never done anything like this to come in and then you bark these orders at them and expect them to like knock it out of the park right away. I was like, you're asking way too much. So on a lot of occasions, like I would always tell people, I'm like, here's the deal. if you don't know what you're doing, if you're very confused at it, just come to me right away. I was like, don't ask my dad. He'll just fucking yell at you. It's just like, ask me, I'll help you. I was like, if something goes wrong, you break something, fuck something up, come to me first. I was like, don't go to him. He's gonna explode. Like he always like goes over the top with everything. But I'm trying to think where I was going with this, but he like it just cracks me up having friends on there too. And some of them, like, you know, like when I talk about the job, I guess maybe it sounds somewhat glamorous, but
is she vacuuming?
I think so. It's not as bad as when we were in that side.
Good girl.
Got her to go to work up there. But I remember I had a buddy that was like in between jobs, and so I was like, yeah, if you want to come work for me, yeah, we'll give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And he's not one for like manual labor type jobs, and ours is pretty intense at times, you know. And I was like, yeah, come to the shop, man. You know, we got some work that needs to be done. And he lasted all of, I think, 2 days. It was like, I gotta go. He's like, I can't do this. All he had him do is like strip a couple podiums, and he was like, yep, too much, I'm out. I was like, all right, yeah, I guess you don't need a job that bad, that's fine.
Wow.
I get it.
I know who you're talking about.
I think you do.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. That was always fun. He brought it up recently where he's like, yeah, man, I'm really sorry I couldn't like handle the job. I was like, whatever. Like, I know you now that you're like, yeah, that I shouldn't even ask you to come in.
Dude, I had a kid last year. It was my aunt's friend's son.
Okay.
She's like, hey, why don't you give him some work over Christmas? Like, he needs money and stuff. So I have usually for the Christmas light business in that season, I'll hire construction workers that can't work, like bricklayers and people that
guys on their off season.
Yeah, on their off season for them to make some money.
This is like the huge time for you. Yeah.
And this kid comes and it was this unbelievably bad. Like, he couldn't even fucking get up a ladder. He couldn't do like anything. He just fucking vaped like the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
And then it was 10:30 in the morning, and he goes, you know, I'm getting real hungry. You mind if I like go to McDonald's and like get some food? And I was just like at the point where I was like, I don't give a fuck. Go do it. Yeah, just do what you want. He came back at 1.
Holy shit.
At 1 o'clock with listen to this, no food for anyone else. Didn't even ask anybody. So all these construction workers are like, hey, brother, like, where's our food at? What were you doing over there?
If it took you
like, what were you fucking whacking off at McDonald's? The next day, he didn't even show up.
Oh, what the fuck?
And really? I was glad. I told my aunt, I'm like, I'm sorry, I know he's your friend's son, but the kid fucking sucks.
Kid's a moron. Yeah.
The kid actually ended up trying to kill himself.
Holy shit.
Like a week or 2 later.
Probably because of all that shit you gave him.
No, he fucking stabbed himself in the leg or something.
What the fuck? How old was the kid?
I don't even know.
Like younger though?
Yeah, he was younger than me. A lot. Yeah, he was pretty young. Yeah, I was like, dude, we had a fucking last year. Another kid. This is insane, but another kid killed himself while he was working for us.
Man, remind me to never work for you.
He shot himself in the head.
Holy shit! When was this?
I was like, what the fuck is going on this year?
It's the lights, man.
Like, these Christmas lights are fucking...
They remind them of sad times, I guess.
Yeah, something's going on. I was like, literally, like, what's going on? This is like, is there like a curse?
Yeah.
It's like, this is like strange.
And that kid succeeded?
Yeah, he did.
Oof.
He was a nice kid, too.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of fucked up. I only knew him for like 3 days.
Just because of like the business?
Like, he only worked for us for like 3 days or something like that. No Super shit. Nice, awesome dude.
And then in those 3 days, he ended up killing himself.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like man. I think it was like a Friday, and then on Monday I found out. He was like one of my main guys, like best friends. That's how he like I met him. That's
how he got in.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Oof, that's unfortunate.
But yeah, it was strange to say the least.
Yeah, we've never had employees kill themselves. we had one that died of cancer, and that was really fucking sad because he was like one of our favorite employees. This dude Lazaro, super fucking nice. His wife worked with us too from like time to time, like part time basically, just because they were super nice and we were just like trying to help him out. And I remember like towards the end, him and his wife were gonna move back to Mexico, and I'm like, all right, have fun. It was great having you here, you know? And I think it was like 3-4 months later, we got a call from his wife explaining like he had passed away. It turned out he had cancer. Nobody knew. It was so sudden and so quick, and he just never treated it, and it got him. Yeah, which that was like really sad.
Oh,
but he was a good dude. I remember.
How old was he?
Not that old. He was probably like maybe not even 40 yet or something like that. He was young. Yeah, he was super fucking young. Yeah,
that's fucked up.
I know we had one guy that worked for us that. This was a funny one. I was kind of young when this one happened. This is when we used to have our shop in the city. And I don't know what the process was when my dad would hire people, but he hired these dudes that were questionable, and they were definitely like they were in gangs for sure. And there was one dude, they were brothers, I think brothers or cousins or something. And the typical like, all right, Monday and show up this time. We'll go from there. So Monday morning rolls around. The one dude shows up and a couple other guys, and we're like, "Yo, where's your brother or cousin at?" Oh, he's like sick right now, and he just can't make it. And we're like, "All right." Next day, what's going on? Oh, he's just still not feeling good. And I don't know how long it went on, but it went on to the point where eventually we found out that the dude got stabbed and shot and was in the hospital for like ever. And we're like, all right, that's unfortunate. Maybe he shouldn't be around here just because he's getting that kind of attention. So that was pretty funny. We had another good dude that dude cracked me up. I wish I could have been there for it. But there was another company we did work with called Emergency Restoration. They're gone now because the owner is a crazy gambling addict and lost all his money gambling. Yeah. And that business was like, it's one of those board up businesses. So how do you not, that's so easy to keep it going. You just show up, board it up, and then you just deal with insurance companies. But anyway, they had this one dude there that for whatever reason, I don't know if they like let him go or I don't remember why, but for whatever reason, he ended up working with us. And this dude that worked for them, Lyle, who was like his boss, my dad was just like, "Oh yeah, is he a good dude?" Aldo was his name. He's like, "Yeah, great dude. He's a great employee, and he'll be good for you." And I'm like, "All right." And one day, I think he even mentioned something about him being in a gang at one point, but I don't think he was anymore, or trying to turn it around, And one day, my dad drives like shit, so him and Aldo are in the van together. My dad like basically stops like over a crosswalk, and some old dude like punches the van because he's pissed that he parked like right on the crosswalk. Aldo dude gets out of the car ready to wreck this old dude. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing to my boss's car, motherfucker?" And like gets in his face. And my dad was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." He goes, "It's fine." He goes, "I fucked up. It's fine." He's like, "Just get back in the van." Like leaves the guy like ready to rip this guy's head off. So then my dad asked Lyle, goes, "What the fuck's up with that?" He's like, "What's with this like anger thing?" And he was like, "Oh, well, he was an enforcer for like one of like the top gang dudes like out there." Oh, frightening. So he's probably like beat somebody inches of her life, if not killed somebody.
Yeah.
But really nice guy when he worked for us. Other than that, yeah. I don't know where that guy ended up, but not jail as far as I know. I
had a friend that I was in the car with him, and he used to work for my dad. Mm-hmm. And I was in the car with him, and some guy cut him off and flicked him off. And he pulled up like right next to the car and grabbed like a huge wrench because we were in his work truck. Like just grabbed it and just fucking took off his whole mirror with it on Cermak while driving.
Holy shit!
I was like, whoa.
You were in the vehicle?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Ugh, don't make that guy.
The other day, I opened the door in a parking lot. And just accidentally tapped the other car next to me with the door. Just like a little tap.
Yeah,
like nothing.
It happens, yeah.
And the two girls that were in the car were just staring at me, and all the windows were down, like with like their mouths open, like, how dare you? And I was gonna say like, sorry, like whatever.
Right.
But as soon as I saw their face, I was like, oh calm the fuck down. And I just slammed the door and walked inside the store, and I was like watching them, and they were like outside, like inspecting their shit. I'm like, I was in like my dad's friend's truck, which is like a nice Tundra, and they're in some shitty fucking Chrysler. It's like, dude, don't you think I should be looking at the fucking door? Who gives a shit about your piece of shit car, you fucking bitch? It's so fucking annoying.
We did a job where it was like one of those Athleticos or whatever, and it was like in a strip mall. We parked, and there was a restaurant on the corner. But anyway, like, so we park. I'm pretty careful with that stuff. Like, I understand. Like, my van's a piece of shit. The last thing I want to do is hit somebody's decent car with my van. So I'm careful with it. The door even like missed this guy's car completely. It wouldn't even reach, but still careful, moving slow. Guy comes out of nowhere. Hey man, watch the car. I'm like, what? I like was like not ready for it. It was early in the morning, so I'm like, wait, what's going on? He's like, watch the car, man. He goes, that's my car right there. You're about to hit it. I was like, oh. I was like, this? I was like, you're worried about this? It was like a shitty like Toyota. I'm like, dude, I was like, it's fucking fine. I was like, go back in there and eat your breakfast. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I need my coffee. I need to wake up. I'm not ready for this shit. I was like, I'm about to wreck this guy over that. Like, over not hitting his car. Like, what the? Like, clearly that guy probably was having a rough day. His wife probably like yelled at him about not taking the trash out.
God, dude.
I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, it was in an arm's reach, something I could just put right through your fucking head. Like, get the hell away from me right now. Like, I'm trying to work. Like, fuck off, dude. Another good moment. A buddy of ours, older brother, I love that vehicle. It was like a 1988 Mustang, one of those ugly, boxy Mustang. Remember those? Yeah. He had one for years. That was like his first car. We used to cruise in that thing all the time. I loved it. No air conditioning, fucking just rust bucket. Barely got where we needed to go, but it got us where we wanted to. And one day he was driving, and his brother was with him, our friend, and somebody like cut him off or something. Like something happened like while they were driving, and he proceeds to follow this person. They get to a parking lot, and the guy was driving like a pretty nice car, like newish at the time, I guess. And dude parks next to him. The guy at this point totally forgot about them, I think, and like was like, all right, park my car. I'm gonna go in the store now. Gets out. He takes his door. Now, mind you, it's a piece of shit Mustang. And just goes, wham, 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 like 6 or 7 times. And our friend, his brother was like 9 or 10 at the time, was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Jesus Christ, watching him slam this dude's car.
What the fuck?
And he was like, all right, we can go in now. Holy man, that's the best use of like a shitty car I've ever seen. One. Like, because it's like, fuck it. What do you care? It's like my car's already fucked up.
Dude, the other day, well, actually, this was like a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. I was turning with the big van. I was turning onto Cermak from the street, Westchester Boulevard. So I'm coming off of a slower street onto, a busier street.
Oh, okay, so you were turning on a 22nd.
Yeah, so I'm like turning right. It's early in the morning. It's like 7 in the morning, and I have a bunch of shit in the van. Like tools and all this shit. So I'm not gonna like gun it out. I'm gonna wait for a big opening.
My dad doesn't do that. He'll gun it every time. But go on.
So I'm not gonna gun it where the shit's gonna go flying everywhere.
Yeah.
This guy's laying on the horn behind me, and even if I didn't have shit in the car, there was no like
time for
me to go. I'm in a big fucking van with ladders on the top. I'm like, don't you see this shit?
People are so fucking stupid.
So I get out. And I was like pissed because it's so early in the morning, and just the stupidity of it. I was like so fucking angry. Like if it was, if I could have won and I wasn't paying attention, I'd be like, okay, I'm sorry. But I was like, what the fuck? Like
what do you want me to do? Want me to pull into oncoming fucking traffic?
So I flicked the guy off. Like he turns to and then gets like right next to me. Typical, like he's like some tough guy.
Right? Yeah.
So I flick him
tough
off
guy when they're in their car,
and he's like smiling, like pissed smiling, and he's like you want like giving a signal. You want me to get the fuck out?
Oh, okay.
Like you want me to get the fuck out? And I was just like screaming like fuck you, piece of shit. And then eventually he just like was getting angrier and angrier. Like he looked like he was gonna get out.
And you guys are on like at the intersection.
Yeah, we're at the intersection, and I look at him, and I just start going like this, like I start saying "call me" and giving him the kiss face, like.
That's awesome. That's so good.
I was like waking at him.
More mad.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, where's the broom? The broom behind the sink over there. Yeah, ladies take notes. This is how it's done. Where's the broom?
Got her working, man. Sucks. Sunday.
But yeah, that was a fun time. I should have beat that guy's fucking ass right in the middle of the street.
Could you imagine, like,
it would have been awesome.
A situation like that where it's like, dude, you really want to get your ass whooped? Like, because you're an impatient motherfucker.
You're an idiot.
Oh, I hate that more than anything. Like, one thing that was like, is like a pet peeve of mine when driving is like the people that honk their horn as soon as the light turns green.
Oh, I know.
It's like, what? I was like, what are we, drag racing here?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's cool. I'm going to go through, like, give me a second.
Like, check Instagram like everyone else in the car, you idiot. What year are you living in? 94?
Social media while there's lights
yeah, it's red. 2019. I'm trying to check my feed here, you dumb bitch.
But I also, I'm one of those people that tries to avoid using my horn as much as possible. I believe it's definitely for as much as you can, make it for emergency purposes only. And some sort of notification. The people that hold down on the horn, it's like, you're a fucking asshole. Like, my thing is, if somebody's not moving right away, I just kind of beep. And that's enough. That always wakes somebody up. They're like, oh shit. All right, we'll go from there. And I'll give you a second on the green light. Like, I get it.
I had this one dickhead fucking driving behind me once. And I think I might have cut him off without knowing. And he was in a van at the time, like a van like mine.
Van on van action.
So he pulls up to the right or the left of me. We're like on Cermak again, and we're passing St. Joe's, and he's coming up next to me like screaming, yelling, like fucking like getting out of his seat.
What the fuck?
And again, man? Like I was just like in those situations, if it gets too intense, like I just like start like making fun of this situation because it's like so ridiculous.
Absurd, yeah.
So the guy's like, oh,
like a dog in the seat.
So I just had a fucking like a brand new like I just cracked open a Diet Coke and I'm drinking it and I just like am looking at him and I just fucking take the thing and chuck it as hard as I could right into his fucking van.
Did it go in the van?
No, but I chucked it right at it. It just like fucking
dunk right off the side of it.
Fucking exploded.
That's awesome.
And right when it happened, I just like made the first right. So he kept going straight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you.
People like that just gotta be having a bad day.
Prick.
Like something's going on there. To get so mad like that in traffic.
Dude, some people have like the worst road rage. It's like unreal. Like I'm such a slow driver. As everyone gets pissed, they call me like because I don't even pay attention to how like I just like cruising. I'm not like trying to get somewhere. Like
again, one time our buddy Tom, like I caught wind of him talking shit about my driving. He's like, Bill drives so fucking slow. We're never gonna get there in time. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't drive like. I drive like a little above the limit from time to time. I even go fast on some, sections, but I also even
if you drive like fast, if you're going somewhere 20 minutes away and you're driving like 10 miles an hour fast, you're gonna get there like 3 minutes faster. It's like okay,
not even.
Do you understand that?
The only time I explained this to a buddy of mine. I was like, the only time you really shave off a ton of time
is on a highway.
And if you're going an extremely long distance, then it adds up. But yeah, if you're like 20, 25 minutes away from somewhere, gunning it through every light, going way over the speed limit does nothing other than get you a potential ticket. You know? Yeah, I don't know. I'm the same way. I'm not a crazy driver like that. Like I also got in trouble with like speeding tickets when I was younger. So like after that, I was like, I'm good.
I only got one speeding ticket.
Really?
And I got it off of my record by doing that stupid 7-hour fucking test because it was my first offense. And I see that guy still. He's always on Joliet and it might be Brainerd or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Like in Countryside area. I think it's Indian Head Park technically.
Yeah, that weird little
So like pocket. It's on the 55. He sits there. It's like a speed trap. So every time I fucking see him, I just like make sure that I'm like in the window just flicking him off, dude. I was just like, fuck it. I just hold the thing like, fuck you.
He's never pulled you over for that?
No. What was he going to do?
I don't know.
Technically, they work for us.
I don't know.
If you're not breaking the law,
that's fair.
I could flick off a fucking cop. I've done it a million times.
It's freedom of speech. I get it.
It's like fuck off. I didn't do anything wrong.
I remember there was another time I was driving the van and I stopped at the Thorntons in Forest Park, and I wasn't getting gas, but I was gonna just pop in and get like something to drink or whatever. I don't know where I was going. I know it was like during the day. And I prefer to back into spots just because it's so much easier to like just go right out when you gotta go. And so I bring the van in and I'm about to like go back, and this dude comes gunning it around the corner and gets mad that he can't go around behind me. And I'm thinking, oh, if you just wait I don't know, 2 seconds. I'm going to be in the spot and you can go. And he, like, I can hear him screaming and yelling, but he was behind a window. I had my window down because the van doesn't have air conditioning, so he did windows open. And I'm kind of like looking this way. He came from over here, and I can hear it. I hear the beep. I see it. I'm like, what the fuck? And I like try to back up. I can hear him yelling. And at this point, I got mad because this dude was just so fucking pissed, laying on the horn. I'm like, what the fuck? And I just turned around. And I remember I just looked at him, and I looked like this, like big fucking beard, giant van. And just gave him the meanest look ever. And I remember the look on his face turned from pure anger to total terror for some reason. Like, he was just like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, really? I'm not that. I guess I look scary in the right setting. But I was like, this will be interesting because he had to, like, get out and go into the convenience store. And I was like, all right, let's see how this pans out in my favor. This guy's, like, terrified of me. Because it was, like, an older dude, like, probably in his, like, late 40s or something. And, when I walked in the convenience store, he was gone. Like, he just like dipped around a corner or something like that and waited till I left.
Like,
here to get my soda. Sorry.
Do I remember being younger? We were trying to park in LaGrange, and this guy pulled we were just about to turn into a parking spot, and he like swiped it.
Oh fuck!
And my dad is like the last person. Like, he is not afraid of anybody. Like, he is not afraid of confrontation. Well, it's like he like lives in it.
Like, he's like for a fight.
Like, he'll go for it no matter what. Like, he'll talk to anybody. Like, you fucking cocksucker. It's like embarrassing. Like,
I'm sure it
being
is.
in line at like stores and the fucking cashier messes up, he fucking is like, "What the fuck you doing? Are you fucking idiot?"
That's rough.
Like, right? I'm like, oh god, this is awkward.
If it's due conflict, I can see that. But so that's rough in a situation.
Like, he has like the littlest patience I've ever seen ever. So this guy does that. He's real calm, which is even scarier. Because I'm like, oh my god, like he's never like this.
Ready to,
We finally get out. We get a spot. He walks past him. They're still in the car, and I've never seen my dad hawk a loogie, but he just like gets the biggest loogie and just fucking blasts it right, and it lands right on their fucking windshield.
That's awesome.
They didn't do shit though. I thought he was like waiting for him to get the fuck out.
Let's do this. Holy shit.
And they didn't do shit.
Really?
And I was like a little kid. I was like 10. Like, oh my god. Like, all nervous and shit. I was a little pussy.
Dad, no.
Dude, I used to hate going out with him because it was always so awkward for me.
Is he always like that in like public settings?
Yeah, I mean, if someone fucks up just slightly, like, he calls them out on it. Like, anybody.
That's rough.
Like, it sucks.
I get embarrassed by that anytime I'm out with like anybody that's like that. Like, especially Jason is good for that sometimes, where he's picky about what he eats, and like I just feel bad. Like, I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, he's like difficult about this. It's just so awkward in those situations for sure.
Yeah, my friend Rob's like that.
Really? Like,
in Greece, he's so picky at eating. Like, you couldn't have any type of like creamy thing on anything.
Oh, really?
So he's like ordering all this like special shit,
but
like on Euros, you know?
Yeah,
it's like sauce, okay, or like he's ordering all this special shit, and then when they fuck it up, he's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Well, dude, you just changed the gyro into a whole new dish,
right? Like
it's no longer a gyro.
You pulled an audible on them that they don't.
These people
are
Greek.
Often.
They're not picky. They eat what they can.
Because like what people, I mean, maybe people don't realize that when it comes to food like that, it's all built in a way so that it can be done fast.
Yeah,
and there's certain reasons why those ingredients are where they are, and so they can boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. And it's like rare that probably people come in like, all right, I need this out, sub this, sub that. And all of a sudden they're not able to automate it because then they're like, fuck, I have to think about what I'm doing now. And like, ugh. And so, I don't know. I'm one of those guys where if there's something on there, I'll pick it off.
Yeah.
But there's not too many things I won't eat. And I won't order something that has something in there where I'm like, ugh. You know, like why? There's so many other options on a menu. Like, there's no reason to do that.
When we were in Greece, he ordered, this was actually funny. He was like, had the biggest craving for vodka sauce.
Okay.
But we're in Greece. So he went to like an Italian restaurant there, and like Greece. He tried to get like vodka sauce, and they didn't know what it was. The guy's like, "Do you want us to put like you're saying put like vodka in the sauce?" And he's like, "No, like the creamy, like orange creamy like sauce." And they didn't know what the fuck it was.
But it was an Italian restaurant.
An Italian restaurant. He came back because he had such a craving for it. He was like so pissed. He's like, there are no fucking pocket sauces.
Fucking morons over there.
Like we'll do her in Greece, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
At the same time, they probably should have known. I mean, wouldn't that be pretty common? If you're in Greece, wouldn't you know Italian food?
I mean, is like
right there.
Is vodka sauce maybe like an Italian American thing, or is
maybe
that, I don't know. Like because I've been in those situations.
He's like he was like, you want liquor in your sauce, and he's like, no,
no, you son of a.
But
bitch.
Really, there is vodka and vodka sauce,
right? But it's cooked
you cook
off.
It down, yeah. But still, maybe it is an American dish.
It could be. It could be just like a specific Italian American,
or a very centralized cuisine in Italy. You know, like every part of the country has something.
It's different. Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing, man. Food's weird like that too sometimes where it's specific to a region and sometimes you take it for granted. Especially around here. Like we are spoiled. We have everything here. You know, all walks of life. You can get their food here, which is great. But then you start getting away from it and you're like, oh, fuck. Like, it gets a little different. The weird thing I always have a hang up about is giardiniera. It really bums me out that you can't get it. Like most places, I guess.
My grandpa used to fly it to Arizona.
Really?
He'd come in, he'd get a separate suitcase and fucking pack it with giardiniera.
Hell yeah, man. I'm sure.
He'd pack it with giardiniera and okie doke cheesy popcorn.
Oh,
because they didn't have it out there at the time. They might have it now, but they didn't have that.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah,
I never thought of that.
And he was like obsessed with it, so he like flew that out there.
I'm sure it's got to be. I gotta ask my buddy because like. Arizona specifically is like very much Chicago transplants. Like it's crazy how many people from Chicago.
They have fucking Portillo's, Illuminati's now.
I went to the Lou's in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Really?
It like I was telling my friends, I was like, I don't know, it's because like we just got off a flight or like I'm super fucking hungry, but this seems particularly good. Like really fucking good.
Really?
Yeah. It was awesome. Because their big thing, because it was one of the sons that moved out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in what was essentially the same water reclamation that we have in Chicago and Illinois. They brought a mini version of that to Arizona just so that the water was just like the water back home.
Wow.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
But yeah, the lengths you got to go, I guess, to make a good
that's
pizza.
Crazy.
But yeah, there's a lot of weird Chicago centric places. Like, because I remember a couple of years after my buddy had moved to Arizona, I was like, yeah, man, how's the pizza situation over there? Because that was the thing, was trying to find good pizza while he was out there. And they ended up finding this place that was literally next to a gas station, kind of like that Don Alfredo by me.
Mm-hmm.
Little tiny hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But he was like, the pizza is the shit. And I was like, oh, I was like, that's awesome. I was like, who's the owner? Like, did you talk to him? And it turned out the guy was from Chicago.
Really?
Yeah. So he brought like whatever recipe he learned while he was here and he brought it there. I was like, that's awesome. But unfortunately, it closed down because it was such a small place and really nobody knew about it. Yeah, except for like them. But
yeah, I've had some interesting times going to Arizona with food.
Yeah.
Like when I first started going out there, when it was kind of blowing up more, like in the late 90s, when my grandparents first moved there, like the food was terrible everywhere.
I don't doubt it.
It was fucking atrocious.
Just flavorless and very limiting.
Then, like a couple years later, like 10 years ago, I went there. Like when I was a little older, like when I was like 16 or whatever.
Mm.
I went and I picked out like places that are like recommended or have like awards. Like we went to like the best Mexican place in Phoenix. Dude, it was fucking garbage. It was so bad. That's the place where, I don't know if I told you this, but I asked for horchata.
And they didn't know what it was.
And he didn't even know what the fuck it was. I'm like, dude, you're Mexican. Like, what's going? Am I like in a Twilight Zone episode right now?
That is so weird.
And then he's like, what is it? And I'm like, it's like rice. It's like water, like cooked with rice to get milky with like tons of sugar and like cinnamon. And he's like, I never heard of it, but it sounds amazing.
It is. That's why I'm asking.
I'm like,
that's so weird.
Like, how do you not know what that
he was
fucking
Hispanic.
Is? Yeah. He didn't have like an accent.
No, but still, because I'm pretty sure that is like a thing everywhere, I thought.
And the food just wasn't good at all. Really? And then I went to an Italian place with my grandma. I took her out to eat, and it was supposed to be like one of the best places. It fucking was terrible. It's like, God, Chicago, really? We are spoiled.
Right, yeah, like I was just telling the story the other day. like a week or two ago where, so I went to upstate New York to visit a buddy of mine that was living up there, and it was like middle of fuck nowhere. And part of the reason why we went up there was just to see like how bad could it really be? Like he was really bored. He hated being up there. He was like, I'm not into this. He's like, I think I want to move back. And we're like, well, so me and his brother were like, we'll come out and visit, and we'll just get a lay of the land and see, maybe we can find something for you to like get into, and maybe we can meet some people. And I remember it was like Friday or Saturday night, the big night that I would think most people want to go out. And we're like, well, let's go to the bar. It was a small town. So they have I think there was 2 bars in the town. So we picked one and we go in. It's like 8:00 at night and nobody in there except for this like middle-aged lady who was like kind of like crying to herself because they kicked her out. Mm-hmm. Their own, like, it was her and 2 of her girlfriends. They kicked them out. They were like, you have to go. You've been drinking too much. You got to go. I'm like, this is literally your only customer right now, and you're getting rid of them. That's 100% your business. I'm like, okay, well, that's a sign, but whatever. Maybe it's early for these people. Maybe the kids our age will come out. And there was 2 bartenders working behind this bar, which I'm like, that seems like overkill. You guys are losing money right there with that. On top of like a cook in back and whatever staff you have right now. And music's playing and it's like, it's good stuff. It's like 90s and like grunge Q101 and stuff. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. I can get behind that, And we make the mistake of asking the girls working the bar, like, hey, what's good here? Like on the menu. And she's like, oh man, the what was it, like a pizza puff basically? She's like, that right there, those are awesome. Those are really good. And I was like, all right, I'll fuck with that. Let's do it. And I think his brother got one.
That's a main dish there. Here it's like you get that on the side with like a hot dog.
That's what I'm saying. It is a side dish. That's a main dish. And we get this thing and it just looked like a baked potato almost. Like this very bulbous looking thing. The marinara was like watery, like super thin. And just no flavor. Somehow no flavor to this thing. It was crazy. And I was just like, how the fuck?
A cracker's paradise.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Somebody with a palate that can't handle spices, like diabetic or something, would love this thing. And I was just like, fuck, this is so disappointing. And I forgot what everybody else, like I know his brother got the same thing and both of us were like, this is brutal. I can't remember what the other people got. And like, I remember that being very like, but then again, like you got to remember, we're at like a kind of a divey bar. So like that bar is so fucking low for food that you cannot expect it to be remotely amazing, And but it somehow it did not even come close to the expectations that I had for it. And so we're hanging out. There's nobody in there. And at one point a dude walks in and he's like setting up a table on like the little stage. It's a stage we would have played if we were on tour, Oh. He sets up his laptop and I think he set up a PA or maybe they had one, but I'm like, oh fuck, what is this? Like, what do we got going on here? Is this the live entertainment? And next thing you know, they turn off their music. He starts playing his music. He's the DJ of the night, and he did a crossover of like Kansas and like Katy Perry, and it was horrendous. I was like, I gotta go, guys. Like, we gotta go. Wow. Check, please. I'm done. I can't do it. I can't sit through this. Like, if there were anybody else here, I could chat them up or maybe do something. I was like, but we're not. No, let's just go home if we're going to deal with that.
How was that crossover? I kissed the girl and I liked it.
And the Wayward Son playing. Yeah.
Carry on my wayward son. I kissed the girl and I liked it.
Honestly, that sounds better when you do it.
Katy Perry, what happened to her, man?
She's a judge now, right? For some,
I think I was listening to her podcast and someone said she went nuts or something, or got like.
Apparently, I meant to look. Yeah, I meant to look that up, but apparently she's in trouble for like sexual assault, basically.
On who? A dude?
I think so, or a chick. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. That guy's trying to get money. Are you kidding me? That girl's career is held up by her titties. You're gonna say
not so much anymore. Like her career is like
sexual
non-existent.
It had to be another girl.
I don't know. Like I said, I forgot to look that up. Now you brought that up, I should probably look that up and do some more research on it.
I don't know what kind of guy would. Well, Katy Perry sexually assaulted me.
Your life is rough.
Yeah, that sucks.
Glad I'm not in your shoes,
Yeah,
man.
what a way to make a judge crack up. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I would like to look that up. I never heard anything about it.
Yeah, I never heard anything about it until he mentioned it.
I bet it was like some guy that like is sick of this Me Too shit and was like, "Watch this!
I'm gonna turn the tables on
turn." Yeah, didn't make any news.
They're like, "Get out of here, man! We're dealing with other shit way worse."
Katy Perry made me motorboat her tits, and
I had to forcefully motorboat her.
Yeah, it fucked my jaw up.
I can't look at boobs the same now.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, she was pretty hot back in the day. She probably still is.
Still attractive. Yeah.
She was terrible though.
I don't know.
Like of all the pop
mind
stars, I thought she was like so bad.
I don't know. I thought she was all right. I didn't mind a couple of the singles that were here and there.
Like I liked that song because it was like sexually enticing, but
well, I like that song because the chorus has that low note to it. It's like a pedal G or something. Like it's brutally low.
I just feel like she can't like out of all like most of them, she can't like actually sing because she has no parts where she actually sings. It's just like
kind of like a talking
auto-tuned. Yeah.
Well, wasn't she like a?
It's not like Christina Aguilera or something where they're actually.
No, that girl can sing.
Yeah, like singing.
Well, didn't she have like a career before, like a Christian singer or something like that?
Katy Perry?
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea, really.
Yeah. So before she was a pop star like she is now, she did do some. I want to say it's like a Christian rock group or something.
Wow.
Yeah, like a
That's
solo.
brutal.
Singer. Isn't that weird?
Wow. How the music industry just
fucking turns you out,
into
man.
a fucking sticks their hand up your ass and turns you into a puppet.
It's like, yeah, you're doing well with this career, but you could do a lot better if you want.
Let's sing about lesbian sexual interaction.
And just get your titties out. You're gonna be making millions.
I know you like Jesus, but you ever kiss a girl?
You ever seen $100 bill?
Yeah, I love Christian rock. You ever hear that song? You ever hear that song? I love loving Jesus.
No,
we gotta put this on.
Dude, we're gonna get flagged.
We're not gonna get flagged by who? Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna get smited while in Europe because of you playing this.
You gotta listen to it.
What's it called again?
You'll see. It's the most classic one of all time.
Oh, really?
It's staple. It's fucking gotta be. I love loving.
If it's not Creed, I just don't know
Jesus.
Anything outside of that.
I think I added it to Apple Music.
It's on heavy rotation for you.
What would it be? Loving Jesus? Loving Jesus.
Who's the artist?
I forgot, but I definitely had I love. It's in my history already.
Fair enough. Pops up right away.
Oh, the Christ family.
Okay, so it's like
you
a
ever heard of
family
them?
type. No,
here.
I don't even know the cool bands that people listen to.
This was Katy Perry's probably single before that.
Right. So far, it sounds like a bad Disney film.
Sunday.
Anybody here love Jesus like I do? Anybody here believe he loves you?
Be careful, you might fall over and start speaking tongue.
Anybody wanna
Feel the Holy Spirit.
Anybody wanna worship him?
How is this not in Cat on Geese?
Celebration begins.
I hear the chorus.
I love loving the Lord. In case you missed church today, people.
It is Sunday. Yeah.
What a chorus.
It hits. It hits hard, man. It's good.
That is awesome. She doesn't just love Jesus. She loves the fact that she loves Jesus.
Or
she doubles.
She doubles down on it.
Yeah, she's like,
She
I
loves
love loving Jesus.
That's intense.
Yeah. Even Jesus was like,
he's like, whoa,
chill
back off.
fuck out.
I'm not that cool.
Fuck out.
A whole group of people killed me. I'm not that cool, man. Sorry. What other pop stars are you into?
Pop stars?
Yeah.
Iggy.
Who the fuck is that?
Pop.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I don't even know that many pop stars anymore.
Yeah, I don't
pop
know.
Still like a thing?
I'm sure it is.
I've been listening to the radio. It's so fucking long.
I do still flip around the radio just because my car's old.
I would assume it's mostly like that new age.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rap is like the new pop, isn't it?
Yeah, right. All the SoundCloud like people and stuff like that.
What would that even be called? Post trap music? It's not really trap. I mean,
I don't know. I don't even know.
Trap is supposed to be like a real fucking gangbanger. Those kids with like the tattoos on their face.
Are they real gangbangers though?
No. So they're not trap. I mean, they're like post trap or art trap.
It's like any genre. They take the one and like all the cool stuff from it.
Original trap was like when Gucci was like not even famous yet. I thought when he was singing about cooking crystal meth in his kitchen and shit. I thought that was like the original trap music. I have no idea.
I don't.
Though.
We are probably the two least.
I mean, that's like
knowledgeable people of that. But.
Yeah, you'd have to ask like Jason or Eddie. They all know rap more or modern rap. The only rap I really listen to some shit that they tell me that's good.
Yeah, see, that's how I was.
Like J. Cole's obviously awesome. Kendrick Lamar's is the shit. Just because
I know of that name.
I mean, his music's awesome.
Really?
He gets like really like high class like jazz players to be on his records and shit. And his records are really interesting.
That's cool. So it's a little more to the production.
And he's just a great rapper too. Like, but he's like old school rap. Like he's still like spitting real bars and shit. I don't know what these guys do anymore. It's more like I don't really know. I don't listen to it.
That's why we need Jason here. He's the young.
I hear it's good.
Is it?
I can't even, dude. I don't even listen to like new metal anymore. I can't like find good music.
Actual like brand new metal, not.
It's hard to find new music. I don't know what it is.
Hey,
I have all the tools to find every music in the world. You know, like you have this shit. You can find every artist all over.
I think it makes it too easy. That's why.
Exactly.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
Eddie did send me this one band that people should check out. It's very different and very good. It's called Black Midi.
I just saw that pop up somewhere.
It's fucking interesting.
What is it?
Dude, it's like a fucking whole other... It's like a thing of its own.
Really?
Like very interesting vocals, like kind of rock, math rock vibes. It gets heavy at times. It also, some songs sound like they're like digital, electronic music.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where I saw the name somewhere.
Eddie might have posted it online. I don't know.
Maybe.
It is really fucking interesting.
I don't know. I just don't trust Eddie.
It kind of reminded me, they don't sound like this, but it reminded me when I first heard that band Alt J.
Oh,
you know that band?
I know of
where
that.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like
it's rare when you hear a band and you're like, when you're like, this is like sounds completely different than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's harder when you get older because you listen to so much. So to hear something new, it's few and far between. Because you kind of get stuck in those genres and stuff that sounds similar, So you're like, oh, I'll go down that path because it's safe. But then, yeah, it's hard to get into something new sometimes.
I mean, I would like to.
Fair enough.
I'm not that into listening to music as much as I used to be, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I'm the same way. It's gotten worse. Like I only like I'll listen to podcasts every once in a while, but it's mostly stand up that I listen to, like stand up albums.
Yeah,
hearing some guy tell jokes, I do like that.
I mean, I did get into that Tool record though.
Do you like it?
I listened to that like 7 times.
Really?
In a row.
That good, huh?
Well, I had an actual CD and I have no way to connect my MP3 player to my new car. So I was like, wow, I feel like a kid again. Like I have one CD.
That's how I am right now. It's like I have all my CDs in the car.
But even already, I turned it. I've listened to it too many times.
You're over it?
I'm not. I mean, I thought it was great. I think
from what you
I think it
showed
was
me
fucking awesome.
last time I was here, it sounded really. It sounds like Tool. It sounds like I feel
Yeah,
like
it sounds
if you're
like
a Tool fan. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, I was talking to Eddie about it. And he's like, I mean, it sounds like Tool, but on steroids.
Does he like it?
Sounds like everything they've ever done, but better.
Does
Just
Eddie
'cause-
like it a lot?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know he's always been a fan of Tool.
Eddie's like how most music fans should be. He's never like, if he likes a band, he's never critical of their new shit and says it sucks. He's always like down for it, which I feel like that's how, if you
Makes
know anything
sense,
about
yeah.
music, like musicians, I mean, what do you want from them?
Right.
You know, I don't get what
exactly.
people like are expecting. Like this
A
Tool
cure
thing, it's
for
like, what do you
disease.
want them to do? Like cure cancer with this album? It's like, it's not, it was boring or it wasn't like, is one person put it wasn't mind blowing enough.
I don't know, man.
Like,
heard
I don't know,
snippets
these
of it,
days,
and it sounded pretty mind blowing.
Music, how mind blowing is music in general? This isn't fucking Elon Musk going to Mars is mind blowing.
That's my yeah.
Not
that's
fucking
the
writing
correct
a
use of
riff.
that term, yeah.
It's like, dude, we're musicians. Like, get off your high horse. Half of us are stoned, and we play a
Right.
fucking guitar, dude.
Just enjoy it for what it is.
It's like,
it
what
doesn't
the
have
fuck?
to change your life.
This isn't like science. We're not, we're not finding
I mean-
aliens here.
That's always a thing that is an interesting thing to say about any sort of like art, if you will. Is like when people are like, "It changed my life."
Did it?
Yeah, maybe it changed your perspective on things,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it would change your life.
I
Like,
mean, music has helped me through shit. Don't get me wrong, but
right?
at the end of the day, I did it. I changed.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think, man. Like,
It's like the sports stars that give credit to God all the time.
well, he's everywhere.
Like God's on their, like the God's a Bears fan, not not the team that they're playing is fan. I
Isn't
thank
that
God
such a
for the
weird-
win.
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
a weird concept, like to be like, yeah, God liked my
Yeah.
team today.
this is why sometimes I have no hope for humanity. I mean, if you actually like break that down, you know, how unrational that is to actually think that. It's like
To think
insane.
that
It's
a,
like almost insane to me. Like
An
you're
omnipotent,
insane.
being gives a shit about a sports game. Like,
Even if he did, why would he care about you over the other person?
well, it's
or
part,
why-
of his, it's part of his plan, isn't it?
It's like, what are you talking? I thank God for this win. Brother, there was a whole other group of humans that were playing against you that lost.
Right. Thank God for their shitty training program.
Yeah, I thank God for my life while other people are starving to death throughout the world.
Right.
Because God cares about me.
God was
This
like,
American dude that played football.
God was like, that guy's gonna make that field goal, and that kid is gonna be terminal in a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like, dude, really think about it for a second.
there was a really good meme that was cracking me up where it was like, it shows a guy like it's a cartoon of a guy in a hospital bed, and it says something like, there's some little bubble, and then the next frame was God at like a whiteboard, and it just said like, it was like one, it was like create man, two, give Tim cancer. And I just thought that was the funniest fucking thing ever.
It's just true, though. It's like, what the fuck? But back to music. Thank God for Tool's new album, though. Clearly, he was on. Jesus was on that
Jesus was
somewhere.
definitely
Yeah,
contributing to that one.
no, it was great. I would definitely recommend listening to it. And it was good that they brought back hype to buy physical copies.
that was really
That's pretty
cool.
dope.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised more people don't try to do stuff like that. I mean, granted, it is a bit of a gamble, and you do have to put a lot of money into something like that. But
Some people are too cool to put out physical copies like that. They'd rather have like a cassette with like a turd on it.
I always get weirded out when I meet bands that are like, it's like, oh, do you guys have a CD? No, just vinyl. All right, cool. I guess I'm never gonna listen to this.
I mean, vinyl does sell in our kind of.
Yeah, it does. Like I
Underground
get it, but
genre.
it just kind of bums me out because, like, at this point, it feels like vinyl has crossed over into being really cool. It's no longer a thing of I genuinely enjoy the sound. I genuinely like to see the big art. It's now cool,
Yeah.
and that's another reason why I'm like I'm not into it.
Yeah.
It's surpassed that now, and I'm like it's too late for me. And then now everybody does it, and it's very difficult to be like, well, how do I like? I've got CDs where I'm like, fuck this. Like I'm never gonna listen to this album ever again. But now I'm stuck with this physical copy. Like, That's a little rough. And now you want me to have this massive, heavy fucking thing, and they have like a stack of them. Like, I'm good.
Yeah,
it's too late now.
I just don't need something else to spend money on.
That too. It's way too expensive.
And
but
let's get real. I mean, you're gonna do most of your listening through your phone.
absolutely. Yeah.
Like it used to be like computers and laptops. Now everyone does. I forgot who I was talking to about this, but if you're an engineer or a master, if you do mastering, you should be mastering towards literally Apple earbuds. Because that's like what 90% of people use, and especially that earbud specifically. It's like that's what you need to like master towards now.
You know, it's interesting. I wonder if like Pete does anything like that with his
He
mastering.
does.
Does he?
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, you have to.
Because you got to know, I mean, that's what everyone's listening. Everything's going to be compressed and sound like shit and be streamed.
like
That's what you got to gear. That's what you got to make it sound the best for, almost.
I mean, that's the one thing I remember learning about, like mixing and mastering and stuff like that. It's like, sure, you can have these $20,000 speakers, but does everybody have that? No, they're playing out of their shitty car stereos. They're playing out of their fucking cell. Like, look at Danny. He plays it out of his cell phone. It's like, oh god.
Like what Adrian does with
the
the music video shit. He doesn't like. Everyone's like, you got to record like 4K. I don't know. Maybe you do need to, and it looks better. But either way, no one's watching music videos on large flat screen OLEDs.
Phone,
it's going to be on YouTube compressed, and it's going to be watched on like a 4 to 6.5 inch screen.
I mean, I watch that stuff on my TV at home, but
yeah, but how often, really? I mean, I do too sometimes, but usually if it's going to be on my phone just because I'm out or
right, yeah, for
on the shitter.
Exactly. More often than that, yes, it does get seen on my phone. It at least will make one rotation on my TV.
Yeah,
just because I want to see it on a bigger screen for sure. Yeah, that's the other thing that's weird about these is like, like everything gets compressed. And I remember when MP3s were coming out, and like it was a big deal because you were able to compress so much music into these small files. And the way it works is it essentially just kind of shelves off some low end, some high end. It compresses like the high end in a certain way, which is why like if you got like a shitty rip of like an album and you hear like that jangly sound of like the cymbals and whatnot, it's because it was compressed wrong or compressed so small that it just creates these artifacts and adds like so much shit. And it's so weird to think. And like it's getting better, you know, being able to stream stuff. The quality is definitely getting better, but still there is, you know, it just sucks. It's
but
like
now, I mean, even if the quality gets better, now Apple was the first one to take the headphone jack out,
right?
And everyone flipped shit, and now all of them did.
Yeah, Android
and Samsung, they said this is when you know like it's dead for sure. Is when Samsung they took it out of their tablets. Oh. And they're like, when Samsung takes something out, especially their tablets, like you know that technology it's a dead thing for sure. They're the last one to always hold on to something like that. And now it's like so now you're getting even worse sound because you're fucking splitting it to a Bluetooth, and not only that, but you're splitting it to two Bluetooth.
Some shitty headphones and like,
But I mean, the way they're doing all these, I don't know how they do all this shit with all this software processing type shit. They're getting all this stuff to sound and look like incredible through software.
Getting better
instead of hardware used to do it. They're able to.
Right.
Like the new iPhone that came out is like the camera is insane.
The one with the 3.
It's like, fucking like literally in 10 years, DSLRs are going to be dead.
Oh, for sure.
It's it's insane how, and they're doing it all not through hardware, but through software processing. They're able to like mimic all that shit. They're able to give you that like, what is it called? That bokeh effect where it's like blurred in the background. Oh. They're able to do that without hardware. They do it with software and two lenses, like one's reading the back, and then they cut out the person. It's all, and then Apple has the new thing with the phone that's coming out. It's called Deep Fusion, and it's coming out for this phone, but on a software update. And before you even press to take the picture, it takes 4 pictures, and then it takes another 4 with a different exposure, and then it takes like a long exposure one. And then AI, like that's what they're calling it. Like it's like insane, like artificial intelligence software, goes through every pixel of all 9 pictures and picks out the best pixel by pixel over like, I forgot how many millions of pixels it picks through.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And it takes the sharpest one with the least noise, and then it puts that all together in one like
so
insanely
it makes it like this, like, beautiful, crisp
picture. That's going to be like...
Man, they really took... I mean, that's the one crazy thing about technology is they really took the guesswork out of that stuff. You know, like I've talked to dudes that are in photography and they explain how essentially they do those kinds of things to make it look so good, but they have to do it manually.
Yeah.
And you have to have that knowledge. And now, yeah, a fucking 8-year-old child with an iPhone can take a better photo that some guy couldn't do 30 years ago.
And there's like tons of people like doing comparison videos like DSLRs versus iPhones, which obviously right now a DSLR is still going to win.
Still going to rein in a little bit higher for sure. They're catching up.
The other thing that these even professional photographers, they were putting pictures online like a professional photography group and said which one was with a DSLR versus, and half, it was always 50-50. They picked one or the other. They had no idea.
It's happening. It's catching up, man. It's technology.
And they said like a big thing is that once you blow a picture up and print it, that's like a different thing. Then you'll be able to really tell.
Right. Yeah.
But they said
digitally.
They said, where do you see most of your pictures now? Just like music, Instagram, this.
Yep.
So every
little itty bitty screen, you know. So you don't need that crazy amount of detail, but having it there definitely looks good. And now it's caught up.
It's 100% going to kill all that shit off. Yeah, just like we thought that this process, these guitar simulators weren't going to be shit. And
now
look at it. You can't tell the difference.
It's finally caught up. Yeah.
Technology's always going to win eventually. Like people that hold on to the idea that no way is that going to take over. No way is it's always going to take over because it gets better. Like it's a snowball effect.
It doesn't get worse.
The better the technology gets, the faster it gets better, and it just gets better quicker and quicker and quicker.
The more you can get inside the stuff, you know, like
it's all about holding on to ideas and like not want to let go.
You know, like speaking of which, you know, like I play a Kemper, you know, and I've been a tube amp guy forever, and I love playing through tube amps. Like I'll never not love doing that, but I enjoy that Kemper because it's a tool for what I need to do. It's and I'm old enough now where I don't give a shit about like I gotta have the cool amp. I gotta have, you know, the crazy amp that is like specific to that genre.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck that. I was like, this thing works great. And I mean, I don't know, I think enough people know me and like me that they won't tell me like something's bad. So I don't really know quite if it is as good as it is, you know. But I've had a lot of friends come up to you and compliment me on like how good I get, like the tone I get out of that thing.
Yeah, dude, it sounds great. I mean,
does it?
There's no getting around it.
Yeah, I mean,
especially for a live setting, it's a whole nother ball game. I mean, dude, if you could get a decent sound live, you're going through another mic, then another whole PA system. It's like, dude, at that point,
going through all that shit, you know.
Fuck, I have a million pedals on my pedal board. Half of them aren't even true bypass. I don't give a fuck. I do not care, dude.
Part of that's fun though, because it colors the sound, you know, and that's
it does. But then again, some people are like pure tube.
Well, your switcher's true bypass though, so
that is. But I run that old ass Digitech whammy, the XP 1000
and everything.
Yeah, before that whole switcher.
Okay, so I use
that as a valve. Yeah, it does. It's not true bypass. It has a whole.
I mean, that's what I did for years. I had a Digitech whammy that I always left on because I didn't want to have to worry about switching it. I would just, you know, hit it. And Nate, you know, Mr. Golden Ears was like, you should always turn that thing off, man. I can hear the difference. I was like, at this point, it's my sound.
Okay, but you could hear at the same time, you could hear the difference maybe, but what's saying that other one's better than that sound?
Well, and
it's all personal preference.
You know, usually you throw it in a live setting. Nobody's going to be able to nitpick that like that, you know, and then the show's over before you can even think about that, you know, of all the nights.
Yeah. I mean, we're not playing the United Center here.
Even if I was, I'd still be playing shit like that, you know. And I just remember I was telling
Korn uses the thing I use.
What?
They use those XP 100s. They have two of them each.
Oh, I'm sure they're old school dudes.
So they're running through that thing, and they're going into $12,000 amps.
Right, diesels and whatnot, and Mesa, yeah.
It's like, I mean, I haven't seen Korn live since I was a little kid, but I'm sure their live tones probably sounds like goddamn like huge nuts in your face.
I wish I could see like a gig or a rig rundown of theirs. I don't think they've ever really done one.
They've done one.
Like recently though.
I think in the last 10 years, yeah. It was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I mean they've always been kind of like gear dudes.
They have a ton of fucking pedals, both those guys.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. Yeah, it's crazy.
And they still actually hit real pedals too.
They're older dudes, man. You know, like I'm like over that though, where I don't want to tap dance anymore.
Yeah.
I do miss my pedal board. Unfortunately, it got stolen. If you ever seen pictures of it and you found it, please let me know. I know it's in pieces because I got my whammy pedal back. Fuck. But it would get to the point now. Well, like that's what I like about the Kemper is like the fact that I can program it so well that I can turn on like I can literally turn on 8 effects at the same time with one button switch.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. If at some point I decide I'd like to go back to pedals, I would just do a MIDI setup, like board, go to a looper, click it in, and then not have to worry about shit. Because that is just, I can't go back to the tap dancing. I mean, you kind of do that now with your switcher, which is great.
Yeah.
That's something I do
that
like.
switcher is fucking awesome.
It's really
because it's
cool.
it's not digital at all. And
No,
it's
all
still
analog.
You would think
crazy.
it was.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
all
was
toggle
looking at,
switches.
Yeah, I love the way that's set up.
And they use the little dip switches.
Have you ever opened that thing up at all?
No, I need to. Because one of my
guarantee-
LEDs is going out.
Oh,
of
really?
it.
I guarantee that probably looks like a spaghetti monster in there.
Yeah.
Because it's analog. you know?
That thing isn't cheap.
No,
either.
it's not. Yeah, I remember
The
looking
new
it
ones
up.
are like $500 or $600.
I would say it's well worth it. You know,
It's made in China though.
Is it really?
Yeah. Even
should
though
be
it's
like
Carl
$20.
Martin. It's a Carl Martin.
Is it totally manufactured in China?
It said made in China on it.
Interesting, because I know like people always get PV shit for it, but a lot of their parts come from like other countries and then it gets assembled in America, which is why they're able to slap a sticker on that says "Made in America," which is technically true, but
yeah,
not
that's
American
cool.
parts.
That's a cool thing for sure. For any of you that don't like digital MIDI switching,
the Carl Martin
Octa Switch, yeah,
it's cool.
Mark
It's
III,
really
the Mark
fucking cool.
III. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I actually
was,
got that from Sasha from
from Dumbo?
Intronaut, yeah.
No shit.
He's the one that sold me that one. Because
Really?
we have the same amp, and I saw him use that switcher, and that switcher works like it goes with that amp like perfect because it switches my pedals and my 3 channels
That's awesome.
like at the same time.
That's one thing I give it up to Mesa for is like not only do they have the foot switch, proprietary thing or whatever, but they also have the analog on a lot of their amps, which is great because then you could do shit like that. You know? It's not like a PV where it's like, nope, you need to have that special
that
plug
fucking pin thing.
Ugh.
Well,
I was looking into it once before. Like you could buy like MIDI boxes that you have to program to tell it to do stuff like that, but then you have to buy a special cable. Blah, 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 blah,
I mean, Mesa has that new head called the TC something like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's their new head that's supposed to like take this. It's supposed to be like
a beefed up version
of this
one,
right? Kind of.
Interesting.
Because this was like they thought this was going to be a huge seller and it wasn't.
I don't know.
Because so many people said this was like one of the greatest heads Mesa's ever made, and then it just didn't sell.
What's the model?
The Royal Atlantic.
Royal Atlantic, yeah. Which was that like a 2-year production?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe 3 tops.
That's so weird.
It was like their take on like a Marshall high gain, and then a vintage like lower gain, and then like they used like a Fender type clean.
Yeah, the clean. I remember you like boasting about it when I heard it.
That fucking clean is awesome on that thing.
Really fucking nice. Yeah.
I mean, that's why. I think the Kemper shit's awesome, and I'm into technology. Like I love like new tech shit.
Right.
I'm all into it.
It's fun. Yeah.
But I feel like that's like my only time I could get away from all of it. So I don't want like to infiltrate the music with more computers. You know what I mean? It's like the one time I could just go in there and just like turn a knob.
Right. And just go from there.
Even though it does suck. Half my pedals always fuck up. And
part of the fun though.
It is. It makes it a live show.
Exactly.
Like when people are too good live, I mean, I know like so many people are like, oh, they were so sick live. It were like, sounds just like the album. I'm like, then I could have just listened to the album.
Yeah. I
want to see something happen.
I do like it, but it's like NASCAR, man. It's like,
I think it's great when the dude makes his little donut every fucking turn, but I kind of want to see it go off the rails a little bit.
It's like
I want to see him bump into
it's
another
a whole
car.
human element to it.
Exactly.
That's why
the variables, you know.
I was listening to like an interview with Jack White, and he was saying that's why he uses like that shitty ass guitar still with terrible action,
right?
And he uses pedals that always fucking break because it's always like
goofy shit.
He's like, it makes it exciting playing because you just never know what's gonna happen. It's like gonna be a real show,
toes, you know.
Which I mean, but at the same time, I would love to have a comfort to have all that, like what Warforged does.
Yeah, I
where
am jealous of that, where it changes it for him.
Because you could eventually, if you wanted to, you could do like a light show to that. You could do videos.
They did a light show before.
Really?
Yeah, I think
they
should
do video
they
in the
should do
back.
the video.
That's what I want to do, but we can't. We can't even play to a click track.
I know.
So
well, you could do, and I don't know why I never thought of it before, but so that band Arcspire, they all do in-ears, and they are playing to a click, but they're also playing to the album. And the way it's set up is the album is mixed down to each guy specifically. So the drummer has it where like the drums are either non-existent, really quiet. Lead guitar player doesn't hear his lead guitar, he hears everybody else. So they're always on point, which is something you guys could potentially do. You can just play to the album, and then that way you are going to be on time no matter what.
Doesn't Jason do that too? Didn't he say he plays with his drums? Like
his drums are playing still. Yeah, he plays to the album.
It's so weird to me.
It is weird, but I mean,
wouldn't that throw you off?
I would think so.
Especially for like drums, because like those fills have like you have to.
You better be on point with that shit, otherwise it's gonna sound like a garbled mess. It's like if you double checked drums, like. Yeah,
that's strange.
But I mean, that's
interesting.
That's definitely
one
way to do it. Because like when we did it in Capsize, all Mike had was the click. That was it.
Yeah.
There wasn't any guitars. There wasn't like there should have been probably. Like ideally, we should have. I had access to the album. Obviously, I should have been able to just give him. A mix down that he would like that would make it a little bit.
I can never play to a click though.
Really?
I would never be able to.
I like it. I can do it easily. I enjoy it.
I would feel like, did I play a show or did I just listen to like ding, ding, ding for a fucking half hour?
I mean, I was just talking about this with Austin the other day, how much I shut my brain off during like a show and I just kind of go with the flow. And it's always like in the back of my head, I'm hearing the kick and the snare. Or if it were a click, I would just hear the click, but I wouldn't be concentrating on it. I'd just be as much as I can concentrate on it, just making sure I'm on time. But yeah, it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't mind doing it.
I mean, if I practice, I know I could do it, but I think it would take me out of the element.
I think it's one of those you'd have to try it.
Yeah.
I think it would definitely change a live show, especially for you guys.
We have so many tempo changes though. It's like
be a nightmare to program,
dude.
That's why I'm not jealous of like Pete recording you guys now.
I know. The first time he got frustrated too.
I'm sure I
think he was like, "This would be a lot easier if you guys did a click or something." Because like Nick wanted to like change where a drum was, and like he's like, "Dude, that's just not possible. We didn't do any of this to a click."
Right. I mean, it's like.
But then the second time we recorded, I think he knew. Well, he knew exactly what
he
we're
knew
all
getting
about.
Himself into. Yeah, and I think technology-wise, again, is probably caught up more because, stuff like Beat Detective and all that shit helps kind of eliminate that idea of like not having a click. Which I've known plenty of drummers like that. They're just like, I can't play to a click. I just go to the feel. It's like, all right, if you're gonna do that, be good. Luckily, Nick is really fucking good. I think he's a pretty solid drummer, so I wouldn't be too worried about. But if you didn't know him and like. It's one of those things that as soon as a drummer says that, in my mind, I'm like, fuck this guy. Probably sucks. He's probably not that good. That's probably why he's doing that. But no, somebody like Nick and even like my old drummer, Tony, yeah, they're good. They're just solid fucking drummers. Like even Gabe wouldn't necessarily need to play to a click, but because we've done it before, like the click fucks up and he just pops the ears off and he goes, I can't tell the difference. Unless,
I mean, it helps with the recording when you start editing and shit.
It makes recording life for your engineer way easier, But
I think it captured
you lose some of the feel from your end. It probably feels like like the ebb and flow.
Yeah, I mean,
your tunes.
I definitely some of our biggest comments on both the records that we've done so far with this band is like how live it sounds on the record.
Oh yeah,
which that's what I want. I want it to sound
more like a live.
Like there's
band.
like flubs here and there, Like,
is there? I mean,
for
I
sure.
never,
Like,
I
I
never
could,
really noticed.
especially, I mean, as
You're
a
gonna
band, you're
notice.
gonna fucking listen to it, and then you got to listen to it like 50 times for mixing, and then
Right. So
eventually you just want
hear
to
everything.
take that song and strangle it.
Like, I'm over it. I'm done.
But I mean, it definitely does sound like live. Like,
Well, I know
you captured it great.
The first, I guess, EP, right, that you guys did with Pete. I remember, I don't know if I talked to Pete about it or Eddie about it, but I remember so during the recording sessions of the drums, Eddie was playing with Nick, and obviously Pete was just tracking it to have it, but ended up using a good portion of that bass, I guess. Like
Yeah, we did that on
live.
this last one too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's where the live element comes from. Yeah. But
It just so happened that a lot of the parts were like
just locked in and good to go.
they were just good enough.
See, that's that's the way
sometimes
to
you
go
like
about
could
it.
fucking play these parts like 30. I'd always take the producer's word for
Me
it.
too.
Like when
Yeah.
you used to tell me if we recorded with you, like do that again, because sometimes it
Right.
feels good to me, but you're the one
Right. Like
in there listening to
kind of like
where
the-
it's in the pocket.
exactly. It's like that outer ear that's different. So it's like I can tell. Yeah. Like it's a little goofy.
And that's what you need. The producer is so important to get the best out of the musician. You know?
Absolutely.
Like I'm hard on myself when we're recording. Like I always think it could be a better take.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like Adrian was talking to me about one of the parts in Tracing Light, and he's like, "Did you like bend like this chord or something?" I don't know. He said something like, "What did you do for that part?" And I said, "I didn't bend shit. I just played it hard as fuck."
So it just
Like,
naturally.
so it
happened
naturally
from
had like
digging
a
in.
a
That's awesome.
change of key just because like I was hitting it so hard, and I was like, honestly, that's because like Pete would be like, "All right, let's
Do it again,
like do it
do it
fucking
again."
like you mean it," you know?
Yeah, that's good.
You need
know?
someone to like fire you up a little bit.
Absolutely. I know it was like me and Nate, we do this thing of we are over critical of our playing, and to us it's never good enough. But luckily Paul was like, "No, you guys killed it.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. It was a
Yeah.
great take." I don't know, man. I think I could do it tighter. I could do it tighter.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that was a fun experience because before that it was just me and Nate engineering ourselves, which is not good.
No, it's not. It's the worst idea.
Especially the two of us, like never good enough.
Yeah.
Never good enough. It was like it could be better. And we quad tracked shit. Like I don't know how neither one of us didn't kill each other after that or quit the band because like it's so stressful. But I think it sounds great. I think it sounds really good. I think we probably could have put less time into those parts and it would have been just as good as ever. But whatever, you live and learn. But yeah, it was nice to have somebody like Paul to just be like, "No, man, you did it." I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool." It was cool to get that because I've done it. I've like you said, I helped you guys out. I engineered albums for you guys and a few other people, and being on that side of it of like, "No, do it again. Like, I think you could do better. No, you nailed it." It's a great feeling to like talk to people like that and try to just get them in a good mood of like, "Yeah, you're crushing it, man. Like, it's awesome. Like, you're doing exactly what I need you to do." So to get it my way, I was like, "Oh, this is what it feels like. This is great. Like, fuck." I was like, "I get it. Now I see why people want to do this all the time." And it's nice to just not be that involved. Like, here you go, man. Like, you're the guy. You're the man with the ear.
Yeah.
You're doing it. That's it. Just let me do the one thing I need to do and do as best as I can. And that's the way it should be. I think it's like less stressful on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we've only worked with you and Pete ever, so,
Right.
and both of you have like a lot of patience.
We're pretty similar. Yeah.
And we're also not a difficult band at all. I mean, I was listening to what's his name that was on your show the last episode with when the ghost orb was on the show.
Jordan. Yeah, right.
And he was
Jordan?
the stories he was telling me about his clients, man. I was like, what the
He like
fuck?
it
How
was
can
funny.
you
He sent
be
me
like
something where I was
that?
like, "How the fuck can somebody talk to somebody like that?" Like,
It's like, how can you be like that? I don't get it. It's like, I mean, I think us three are pretty confident and we know what we want. Like, we always like know what we want. We're not in there like, "Oh, I don't know."
well, you're older too.
Like, we know exactly what we're going for. And even the last record, we didn't even have the song finished.
I thought that was
And
interesting.
we went in there and we were like writing parts. Like, we were like, "Pete, can you give us like 20 minutes? We got to like hash this part out." Because we were like under the gun.
Yeah. No, I thought I was impressed by that you guys had set those like deadlines And you're
Well,
like,
we really didn't. We
Coco
kind
kind
of
of
had to.
yeah. But still, you stepped up and did it. And
What a way to get a fire under your ass, though.
Yeah.
When you have like another band relying on you.
Yeah. Because even if Roman Ring did that, we would be ostracized. Like, they'd be like, don't ever hang out with that band ever again. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, even then, it would get frustrating.
I'm sure.
But it wasn't
like anything. It's gonna get frustrating.
I mean, Pete gave us like great ideas, and he was always, pushing us to make it sound good, and we always took his advice. This is the guy that recorded like 1 million fucking records,
right? Like, if anybody's gonna have an ear,
like, dude, we wrote the songs and played the music. We don't like sit at home and record and mix,
right?
So like, let someone else fucking take the reins on that.
It's
because
nice.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Even if in your head you think you know, like, he knows.
Well, like, the engineer is like, it's like if I don't know, you're walking around, your vision's kind of poor, but it's good enough that you can walk around, you can kind of read the signs or whatever. But then your engineer's your glasses. You put the glasses on, all of a sudden everything's way clearer, and you can see that, and you can understand it more. Like, it gets you where you need to go.
And also, like what that Jordan guy said, which makes a lot of sense, is engineers also will ground you and tell you what's fucking actually possible here.
Right.
Because some of the shit you come up with is just like,
it's just too outside.
Dude, you're not going to be able to get that, or like you're not going to be able to get all these sounds in like one. Otherwise, it's going to sound like shit.
Right. It's just going to be a mishmash of like sounds. It just sounds like the brown note, basically.
Which, I mean, I could see how bad. I mean, I've fucked around with writing shit and like then like having it in like a DAW,
Yeah.
And then you're like
totally different.
You have so much instruments and shit and MIDI things that you could do that you get like overwhelmed, and you'll add so much. Like, add like 50 synths here, and then add like a guy screaming, and then it's always the best when it's like simple. It's like food, like the shit that's like simple, like a taco with cilantro and onion and
delicious,
lime.
right?
It's fucking unbelievable.
It's so good. Yeah,
it's like
the same thing for sure. I like when it came to writing, especially with Capsize, and we had 3 guitar players. I never wanted it to be everything all at the same time, all the time.
Yeah.
I wanted those parts, and then you kind of, address it however you can to make sure everything fits. Sometimes it didn't always work, but it was enough that I'm like, we'll keep it in there and we'll just go from there. But it's so small that I don't think it's going to bother anything. But yeah, the idea of keeping it simple is like a great idea. And like something I learned over time too with like engineering, where I was always like in the impression of like, we should put like 5 fucking amps on one side and 5 on the other side. But like you have it all in front of you, and you can just click on one amp and you're like, oh wow, that sounds absolutely amazing in this mix. Like, what the fuck am I trying to like get the timing right on all these amps, get the EQ and just right. It's like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously I was like an amateur, but like looking back, I'm like, that's so stupid. There's no reason.
And on top of that, when I was younger, I always thought heavy meant like adding more gain.
Yeah.
And now, like, the older I get, I'm like, dude, the less gain, it's just
way better.
It makes it just sound so much fucking. You could crank that amp up, and it's just loud and punchy in your face.
That's the thing is like people don't. I mean, they're getting better about it now, but like back then, it was all about like crank. Like, it's big in like the whole like periphery gent thing, which always like bothers me a little bit with that sound. It's like super saturated, so everything is very compressed. So even if you're not a great player, it definitely helps compensate. And I did that when I was younger. And Nate will say otherwise, that like I use like a very high gain sounding like patch or whatever on the Kemper, but I have that gain back just enough that it like, pinch harmonics will pop out a little bit, and it's dialed back enough I'm not getting too much feedback depending on the guitar. And then I throw like an overdrive into it. And like, it seems to work. I think it's dynamic. And that's the other great thing about that amp is you can set that dynamic range of, it's almost like an envelope filter. So the harder I hit, the more distorted it gets, just like a real amp. And the lighter I hit, the cleaner it'll sound.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's great about that amp. So I can do that. The same thing I used to do with my PV or my, whatever, the Mesa and the Soldano and stuff like that. But yeah, and it's easy with the Kemper because there's so many fucking profiles to find one where it's so saturated and, just tapping it, like that note is hitting you. But it's not hitting you in the same way as if you were to dial the distortion back, crank the volume up, and you hit it, because then you feel it. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know, you don't feel it when it's super distorted, even if it's loud. You're not gonna, because it's always pushing at the same level. So it's just like noise, you know. Whereas less distortion, more volume, it's, you know, pinpointed noise, you know. And yeah, that's how your tone is, and it's awesome. Like it's just the same thing with Eddie. Like both of you guys, like you feel it a lot more. Which is why, like the last time I saw you guys, I think it might have been Empty Bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded incredible.
Yeah,
it sounded so fucking good. Like, and you felt all the notes hitting. It was awesome, and it's nice.
Being a 3-piece too does help with that.
Yeah, there's less clutter.
I mean, Eddie's like basically. I mean, we're both like basically lead players.
Yeah, it's not really like
not
you
like
guys
he's just playing. I mean, it's not the same, you know.
It's like you guys are all the rhythm section, all the lead section.
Yeah,
you know?
like it's very much we're playing. Each of us has our part that needs to be like
to be there,
just as out in front as the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, like I couldn't even. It'd be weird to see you guys with like a fourth guitar. Like I don't know if it would. Ever
I don't think it would ever happen.
Your sound would be totally different.
It'd be cool if we had like a synth player, a guy that does like other shit.
It'd be interesting.
Like other sounds or something. That'd be cool.
Just for just to add like a layer to it.
Like, doesn't there who's that band? Doesn't Resin have like a guy that does that?
I thought that was like Indian that did that.
I think they do too now. Maybe
right. Like
maybe recently they added a guy.
Wasn't one of the dudes that like worked for like Emperor or something like that is like in that band. I remember Eddie talking something about that.
But then I'm afraid if you get like a synth player, then like our next record's gonna have like fucking, you know, it's like,
sound like Flock of Seagulls. All of a
you
sudden.
get like too intense with it because it's a new thing.
We need more of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just got to be, you know, mindful of those things. That's all.
It's all about the riff at the end of the day. That's how we roll. We're like old school like that. It's like, I mean, it really starts with like, you gotta have a fucking good. You could put a bunch of shit on top of it, but. Like, I mean, me and Eddie could, like, on our own riffs, probably spend so much time just fucking writing it, then digging through it and changing it up 5 times.
Yeah. See, I like doing stuff like that too. And it's,
I mean, you could write a whole song off just a simple lick, and you could just make it into like a 20-minute song, basically.
Right.
Trust me, we've done it unintentionally.
Right. Yeah, that was like a lot of how my writing boiled down in the Capsize days, where it was essentially have a riff and then do some bastardized versions of that riff in the song, and then usually it was like a big like chorusy part, and that was it. That was really the formula to that band, and then one out there try to be as catchy as possible. That was it. That was the whole formula of the Capsize writing, and that's why when people hear the song Vatican City, right away I've had friends that have known me for a long time that right away they're like, you wrote that song. I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, I can fucking tell right away that like it's got the Bill like signature writing of, you have that riff, you do a variation of it, then you have your out there bridge part, and then the big ending, which is normally would be like your chorus, but now it's just the big ending because you shortened it. It's like, fuck, you figured me out. But yeah, I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same, right?
I mean, if you have your thing, why stop doing it?
Work. Oh shit, I gotta get going.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there at 3. It's 3:05 now. All right, let's wrap it up. Anything to plug?
The 4th show on October 4th.
Yeah, I'm bummed. I wish I could be there for that because you guys are playing with Thieves, and I always like seeing Thieves, and you guys, of course.
Yeah, Thieves are the shit. I love.
They're awesome.
They're my favorite band. One of my favorite bands to watch live
they
too.
Fucking rule. They're so good. I'm glad you guys gave me an excuse to play a show.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Otherwise, they don't do anything.
No, I think they gave us. I don't know.
They set that up, really?
No, maybe Eddie did set that up.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Where's
it doesn't matter who set it up. It's all about just the camaraderie and love for each other. I guess.
Unfortunately, this is going to be out well after that show.
So that show already happened.
So hopefully you guys were there and you got to see Thieves and Baron Air. Yeah. And who else? There was like
TMI.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
No,
it's something. It's an acronym.
That's too much information.
What is it?
LMR, I think. Yeah, let's look it up.
I've
had to look this up like 4 times now.
Yeah, there is a previous episode where I hounded you about this, and you found out what the acronym stood for, and now I can't.
LMI, yeah.
It's like, what does it stand for?
I forgot.
Something male.
No, I don't know.
Lazy. I thought it was like lazy male something, right?
Was it that, or was that the one I was just kidding
Or did you
about?
just make up? I can't
And then
remember.
coronary we're playing with,
I don't know what that is.
which I might have a coronary heart attack.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Nothing else, really? Nothing else booked?
We're writing our asses off to get all. Oh, I'm doing a music video
Oh, yeah, for sure.
for 20. The full length of both Tracing Light Part 1 and 2 will be basically. It's basically going to be a soundtrack to a short film that
That's so
Adrian
cool.
Perez is directing and
That's his
writing.
style, man. I like it. I wish he's not doing anything with Coco's side of it, right?
No.
That would have been cool if he did.
Yeah, that would
Still
be
time,
cool.
maybe. I mean, get a fire.
It's a lot of
under his
work,
ass.
man. Give him a lot of credit.
A lot of fucking work. I mean,
Very
yeah,
appreciative of him for doing this.
I've been there watching him work, and it's impressive to see
Sometimes.
that guy do what he does. He's really good at it, and he's real passionate about it, which is awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm glad he's working with you guys. You know, that's great. We're all
Yeah.
friends, you know, which is awesome.
But
And,
keep an eye out for that because I've seen little clips here and there, and it looks
so good.
it looks like it's like,
Yeah.
and it could be in like a movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
mean,
looks so fucking awesome.
if anybody hasn't seen the Warforged video, that's a great example of Adrian's work, and it's beautiful. It's great.
Yeah,
It is. It's a short movie basically, which
Yeah.
is so crazy. And he's definitely bringing that vibe over to you guys, which is cool because, like I said, it's his thing, I guess. You know, like his style, if
Yeah.
you will. And it's great. It's a great style. And yeah, he's actually going to be working with Something Is Waiting to do a video, and
Roman Ring, right?
yeah, there was one in the works that we started a while ago, and from what I heard, the part that I did needs to be redone just because they found a better way of doing it. So,
Well, you guys got to put a fucking record out first.
nah,
Here's a music video.
slow down.
Where's
there.
the record?
Slow down. No, that's a good point. Hopefully, we can use that as an excuse to kind of like bring this album.
Yeah,
out.
I mean that would have been ideal for us too.
Yeah.
Is putting out this video
Right.
or with our record, but I mean that's just impossible. I mean we really didn't time it like we weren't even thinking about a music video. when we
right.
put
That's
out the
probably
record.
the last thing on your mind. Yeah.
But either way, it's gonna bring more attention
I
to
was
that
gonna say,
record.
It's
again.
not a bad idea just because it'll like anybody that didn't check it out before. Hopefully, we'll check it out now and pick up a copy or something.
Yeah, I mean,
That's one of the albums I have on vinyl. Is,
You do-
the
oh,
split. Yeah,
good.
which is great. It's just
I have a bunch down here,
Do you?
so get on Bandcamp and buy it,
Yeah,
please.
get it now before it sells out.
It's
right?
worth it. That cover's sick when you have the full thing and you open it up.
It looks so awesome. Yeah, and that's all Eddie, right? It did all
Yeah,
that.
and you see like the
It's
real,
so great.
like it kind of looks like a simple, like design kind of, but when you really see it in person, like you see like the texture and that like artwork and
Yeah.
shit. It's dope.
He's good at what he does, man.
He's all right. He's good. He's learning.
all right.
He's
good.
learning.
He's getting there one day. One day.
All his
he'll be
shit's
there.
on all the bus stops and stuff. He has like a billboard with some of his shit on there.
Really
For that
for the CSO, right? And stuff.
250 years of
No
Beethoven.
shit. That's him, man.
That's
cool.
his like thing. Is that
Those,
that
like,
whole ad
spaces and stuff like
campaign.
that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Huh, good for him. Man.
So next Baron Air will probably be on billboards.
Oh, there you
This
go.
is the next step. you know?
Right, it's only the next logical
We'll
step.
actually be like we'll have what is it called? A residency at the CSO, Baron Air. It'll be like Metallica, like us with like
Yeah,
a
an SNF.
orchestra in the background.
Baron Air, SNF.
That'd be awesome, actually.
If only. That'd be cool. Yeah, at this point when this airs, I will be somewhere not in this country. And I will be back 2 days.
So when will this air?
October 12th.
Ooh. I was gonna say I won't be in this country either.
Where are you going?
China.
China?
China.
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 Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
China.
Yeah, I will be back, and hopefully, like I said, everything has been set to be on autopilot. So every episode should still come out every Monday. By the time you're hearing this, if it didn't happen, something terrible happened on the internet.
Well, you have Wi-Fi there.
Yeah,
right?
I'll be able to, because I can't really trust Jason to do this stuff. So as long as I have internet for like a couple of minutes, I can make sure everything's working. Definitely done it on the fly before, so yeah, it will get.
Maybe on that
That's
note.
a great ending. That's good. Yeah, thank you everybody. Hopefully this isn't like a posthumously made podcast, and I
you sound
didn't make it.
you sound like Maggie now. Every day, this
travel.
plane's going down. I'm like, okay, I don't want to think about it.
I've done it before and I made it all right. So, but yeah, how fucked would that be if this is my last time on?
That would be fucked.
It's my birthday today, so I'm just thinking more doom and gloom. That's why I'm 1 day closer to death. That's why I'm thinking about it.
Yes, you are.
No grays yet though, so take that, Alex. But yeah, thank you everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. Bye.
Bye. Do I get music?
I do it in post production.
Oh, turn my headphones up, dude.
Turn my headphones up.
All right. How does this go? How do you do this again? Hey, this is the thanks for watching the Nothing's for No One podcast
And listening.
but start watching more because we're on YouTube now.
And that's where all the links are.
Yeah, all the links, every one of them.
And then you can comment.
The hot links.
They're hot.
Oh yeah, you could like, comment, subscribe. You could find us on Patreon. Donate
We are
at
not
least
on Patreon.
$1,000. Oh, you're not on it? Okay. Our Pornhub link is Dirty Knits Spreading Everything. And that you have to pay to see. And then Bill is not yet on Pornhub. He's still on xnxx.com. It's like the shitty Pornhub.
I mean, I'm old. It's
Yeah.
a classic.
And then we're also on Instagram, Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, we are on Twitter. It gets all the
YouTube?
Instagram like leftovers basically.
Ooh, nice. LinkedIn,
No, not LinkedIn.
Facebook.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, comment. And thanks for watching the show. Peace.
Perfect.